Something feels incredibly off, but he cannot quite place it. Then he notices an entire building has just straight up vanished. Trying to process this, he pushes through the morning crowd. He gets a bird's-eye view of the problem, a giant building-shaped hole in the city. Down on the ground, everyone's blaming greedy developers for the chaos. But Sauda walks off, knowing damn well you cannot demolish a skyscraper overnight. Trying to ignore it, he just heads to school and finds his classroom. This second he opens the door, a shadowy creature lunges right for him. Oh, never mind, it is just his ridiculously dramatic friend giving him a flying hug. This guy, whose name we learn is Sauda, is getting an earful about the apocalypse. Our boy is not impressed, telling his friend to maybe play fewer video games. But his buddy has receipts showing social media posts of this happening everywhere. Even with proof, Sauda's still desperately clinging to the "it is a coincidence" theory. Then his friend gets a creepy look, asking if this feels like an apocalypse novel. And that phrase, "the world's end," hits Sauda like a freight train. He pulls out his phone to check that trashy web novel, but it has been deleted. A horrible realization dawns: the novel started with buildings disappearing. It also featured a weirdo friend ambushing the hero at school about the world ending. This kid starts to panic as the pieces click into place. The story is becoming real, so he does the only logical thing and bolts, faking a stomach ache. His friend, now with a shoe print on his head, promises to cover for him. Sprinting away, Sauda remembers the novel's big reveal. The building was a portal, and the very first portal to the monster world was set to open in this exact town. Sauda absolutely bolts through the city, running for his life. He skids to a stop right at Ground Zero, the future home of Portal Number 1. Some random old dude thinks he got scammed by a cult, which is almost accurate. Our boy is just drenched in sweat, realizing the novel's vague lore is now his problem. A quick lore dump reminds him 999 of these portals just appeared all over Earth. And tonight at midnight, the monster invasion is officially scheduled to begin. We are talking everything from tentacle beasts to angelic-looking nightmares. This abyss apparently has a whole ecosystem of things that want to eat you. According to the story, modern weapons can handle the level 1 chumps, but that is it. But there are two ways to fight back, mainly by killing monsters to earn rewards. These rewards are basically cheat codes, magic weapons, and unique skills. This first monster to show up is a slow, level 1 dog thing with big all claws. Sauda immediately starts power gaming, remembering the first kill grants a special physique boost. With that skill, he could solo level 2 monsters while everyone else is still panicking. He still has no idea why the novel is real, but he has decided to just roll with it. So he pumps his fist in the air, vowing to get stronger and scaring the hell out of some bystanders. His first stop on this new career path is a local hardware store. He buys some pipes and knives, planning to craft a makeshift spear for the dog monster. Walking down the street with his new toys, he passes a girl with pink hair, and she definitely knows him, wondering why Shiju Sauda is skipping class 2. Meanwhile, the pink-haired girl gets an earful from some guy demanding she get home. She just blows him off completely unbothered as Sauda walks right past her. Back at his place, Sauda assembles his very professional, totally not hardware store armor. He tries to convince himself he is not about to die, a solid strategy. By 11:40 p.m., he is at Ground Zero, looking like he is late for a convention. With only 20 minutes left, he stakes his claim on that first monster kill. He watches his phone, counting down the last 5 seconds to the end of the world. Getting into a battle stance, he braces for whatever comes next. And right on schedule, the portal tears open with a flash of red light. A massive, ominous magic circle activates right under the city, shooting a pillar of raw energy straight into the night sky. Then hundreds more light up the horizon, just as the novel foretold. This very first monster materializes right at his feet, fresh from the abyss. It is a massive, spiky wolf beast looking hungry for a protagonist. Sauda recalls its weakness from the story, a good stab to the waist area. He tells himself to stay calm, which is always easy when a hellhound appears. His whole plan hinges on taking it down in a single, decisive blow. But the monster does not wait, charging him at full speed. Our boy's eyes go wide with pure, undiluted panic, and he just barely dodges out of the way as it lunges right for him. Adrenaline surging, he screams and brings the spear down. He lands a direct hit right on the monster's weak spot. Standing over the bleeding beast, he thinks he has actually done it. But as it hangs limp on his spear, he is not totally sure. Then his gamer brain kicks in. No loot drop means no kill. A smug little grin tells us he has caught on to the trick, so he just sits down, calling the monster out for playing dead. And would not you know it, the wolf's eyes snap open in pure rage. This time it actually dies for real, dissolving into data-like particles. A system message pops up, confirming he is human number 1 and got the first kill reward. A sudden flash of light zaps him as the reward begins to activate. And our boy is absolutely ecstatic, celebrating his first official win. This system asks to apply the skill, and he is smashing that yes button, which immediately summons a shadowy wolf spirit right behind him. This spirit howls before diving straight into his body, engulfing him in a vortex of raw, chaotic power. This whole power-up sequence looks incredibly painful, by the way, but he comes out of it with a much cooler, spikier cape. His eyes glow as the system confirms the skill is now his, granting him a tenfold boost to strength and double the reflexes. Not a bad start. Sauda's absolutely buzzing, ready to test out his new first kill reward. He gives the ground a little test stomp just to see what happens. To his delight, the power surge did not even hurt him. Now for the real trial, a full power punch into a huge chunk of rock, which he completely obliterates in a massive explosion of debris. Standing in the crater he just made, the kid's feeling pretty invincible. Next up is the other loot drop, a glowing abyssal stone. His immediate instinct is to just eat it because why not? A flash in his eye tells him he has unlocked some kind of space ability, and the system confirms it is a level 1 inventory for storing non-living things. Sauda is deeply unimpressed, calling it a lame item box a total buzzkill. His new weapon, however, gives a 2x physical boost and a bleed effect. That continuous damage overtime perk definitely gets his attention. Our boy gets real cocky, realizing he is the only person who knows the future. He is already looking forward to the next stage of the apocalypse and its rewards. This next morning, it is back to the mundane world of high school. Inside the classroom, his overly dramatic friend is waiting for him, and there he goes again, launching himself for another flying hug. Only this time, Sauda just sidesteps, letting him eat the floor spectacularly. His friend, picking himself up, senses something's definitely different about him. His friend is back to his usual theatrics, freaking out about the global monster news. He claims any videos of the monsters are getting scrubbed from the internet, but he saved one showing some foreign soldier casually holding a dead wolf thing. This guy is practically vibrating with excitement, asking what happened next. Apparently, killing the monster gave the soldier a lightning superpower. So he pitches his brilliant new plan: they should go hunt monsters for powers. Sauda just casually agrees, completely short-circuiting his friend's dramatic speech. Just then, their teacher gets the class's attention with a very serious look. She tells everyone to ignore the false rumors online and focus on exams. Sauda just smirks, knowing damn well those rumors are about to become homework. His friend, however, is now staring at him with intense suspicion. The school bell rings, mercifully ending this lesson in denial. As class is dismissed, Sauda is just relieved to be done with it all, but his friend stops him, asking for a private word with his eyes blacked out dramatically. Sauda looks a little confused but seems to go along with it. They end up out on the school's running track. His buddy gets real serious, asking Sauda to tell him what is going on. Then he launches into the air, screaming that he is breaking up with him. He even manages to squeeze out some crocodile tears about their betrayed friendship. After that whole performance, he asks Sauda to keep a secret, calling him Taquito. Taquito gets super intense, asking if Sauda trusts him. To prove his point, Sauda tells him to just watch, no blinking. He then casually karate chops a chunk out of the concrete bleachers, and Taquito absolutely loses his mind because that is not normal. Sauda smugly explains he got the power-up from killing a monster yesterday, which makes Taquito go full-on fanboy, grabbing his hands with literal heart eyes. At that moment, the pink-haired girl spots their very dramatic hand-holding session, and she is deeply concerned they are having a romance novel moment on school grounds. Sauda promises to help Taquito get his own skill when monsters show up in 3 days. His friend looks back, all serious, making sure he is for real, and Sauda just smiles, telling him this is their little secret. With their pact made, the two head out into the city. Already, Sauda is planning their next hunt at a construction site. He remembers from the novel that 2 monsters will spawn their next. One is a glass cannon wolf thing, apparently as tough as a baby monkey, while the other is a big all-gorilla monster built like a brick wall. But Sauda's got a plan. He will take one out, leaving the other for Taquito's first kill. Just then, an old woman spots him on the street and calls out his name. He turns around with a smile, recognizing his auntie. She invites him for dinner, but he immediately asks if his uncle is at his place again. Sauda's expression hardens with a cold, new resolve. His auntie explains his scumbag uncle is trying to steal the house and begs him to run, but Sauda just reassures her, promising he can protect himself now. As he walks off with glowing murder eyes, she marvels at how strong he has become. He arrives back at his family home, which looks pretty nice from the outside. Inside, however, 2 absolute clowns are getting trashed in his living room. This red-haired one asks his dad if Sauda has finally run away for good, and his dad, the uncle, drunkenly slurs that if he has, they get to keep the place. He even waves around a crumpled document claiming he legally inherited everything. At that exact moment, the front door slams open, announcing the owner's return. Sauda is standing there, absolutely livid. They are treating his home like a frat house. This cousin immediately starts yelling, calling him an arrogant brat, but the uncle stops him, deciding to try the charming approach first. He tells Sauda that his own mom got along with him, so they are basically family. This guy gets way too close, trying to play the concerned guardian. It is super creepy. Then he offers 1,000 yen as pocket money, a truly world-class insult. His son loses it, screaming at Sauda to pack his bags and get out. But Sauda drops the bomb. He knows they forged the will. This uncle absolutely panics, yelling that Sauda has no proof and he will crush him in court. Our boy just calmly reminds him he never once visited when his parents were dying. Sauda lays into his uncle for being a useless leech while his parents suffered, but the uncle just scoffs, daring him to sue over the clearly forged will. He even has the gall to blame Sauda's mom for her own death, calling it karma. Then the cousin chimes in, screaming some truly vile insults about his mother, and that is absolutely the last straw for our boy. This red-haired clown just keeps taunting him, practically begging for a fight. His dad joins in, asking if Sauda's really gonna hit his elders. This uncle promises to beat him black and blue if he even tries, so Sauda just immediately clocks him right in the jaw, sending the guy flying across the living room like a rag doll. His son, seeing this, grabs a bottle and charges in like a hero, which Sauda blocks without breaking a sweat before decking him too. Now both of these clowns are on the floor, completely outclassed. This cousin immediately starts crying about how he is gonna call the cops. What a champ. Sauda could not care less, just walking off to pack his things. These two are left wondering if they should try for revenge, but they are terrified. In his room, Sauda decides to lay low since the legal system is about to become irrelevant. He just has to wait 3 more days for the world to end to get his real revenge. With his bag packed, he walks right past the two losers in his trashed home and tells them they can have the house for 3 days, a very generous eviction notice. Back at the trashed house, the two losers are still processing what just happened. This uncle is in utter disbelief that Sauda actually just walked out on the house. His son, however, is absolutely livid and tells his dad to call for backup. Meanwhile, Sauda has checked into a lovely 5-star establishment to lay low. He asks the receptionist for a room for 2 nights, trying to be discreet, but she immediately tries to sell him on their popular massage service, real classy. Sauda gets super flustered, knowing this sketchy hotel is the only one near the transfer zone. She keeps pushing, getting a little too handsy while passing him the key card. He finally gets away and heads up to his room, number 208. Unfortunately, the room comes with a very loud, very active soundtrack from next door, and the sounds coming through the wall leave absolutely nothing to the imagination. Our boy is just trying to get some sleep, but the walls are apparently made of paper. He buries his head in his shirt, trying to survive the next 2 nights of this. This noise seems to be coming from room 209 right next to his, and it turns out the people in room 209 are just as annoyed by the noise as he is. A white-haired woman tells her pink-haired friend to be patient since they are here for an objective. This pink-haired girl is still absolutely fuming though. She turns to her companion Mio and asks for her opinion on the situation. Mio gives a stone-cold analysis. The woman is faking it and the guy has about 10 seconds left. Her friend absolutely loses it, screaming that she meant the asterisk abandoned construction site, not a live performance review. Mio smugly tells her friend to just say what she means already. Her tone shifts, explaining the world has changed and they must fight monsters to survive. She pledges her full support to Sakura-sama, urging her to acquire power. Sakura looks back with fiery determination, totally on board with the plan. Back in the present, Mio gives a thumbs up, proud her 10-second prediction was right. Her friend is just completely mortified, begging Mio to stop her live commentary. 2 days later, it is 11:30 p.m. at the abandoned construction site. Under a full moon, two figures are seen approaching the building. It is Sauda and Takedo, and his buddy can already feel the ominous energy. Sauda just brushes it off, saying these stage 2 monsters are nothing to him. Takedo, however, is visibly sweating, asking if he is really sure about that. He then jokes about using Sauda as a decoy if things go south, a solid friendship plan. This prompts a quick check-in to confirm they are in fact still friends. With 30 seconds on the clock, Takedo starts worrying about other hunters showing up. But Sauda is confident, knowing from the novel that the world is still clueless. Suddenly, his expression changes as he tells Takedo to look up. A helicopter swoops in and Sauda immediately drags his friend into cover. On the rooftop stand Mio and Sakura, decked out in tactical gear. Sauda is completely stunned because these two were definitely not in the novel, and then it clicks as he realizes what this massive deviation from the plot means. Sauda realizes his mistake. People did not miss this spot, they died here. Meanwhile, Mio gives Sakura a pep talk, telling her they are in this together. Up in the rafters, Takedo ids one girl's rich family and the other as special police. And his first thought is naturally that they are here to steal their loot. Sauda is not having it, vowing not to let them take the rewards. Down below, Sakura looks super nervous about the monster's arrival. Mio confirms they will pop out of a magic circle right at midnight. These things, she warns, are nothing like the animals of their world. Her plan involves a big all-bomb to soften them up first, very subtle. Sakura's job, apparently, is to land the final shot with a handgun. She takes the pistol, looking way more confident than she did a second ago. Watching from above, Takedo is officially starting to freak out. Sauda tells him to get it together, reminding him this is for power. With a deep breath, Takedo agrees he is all in. Our boy analyzes their strategy. A bomb means they probably do not have skills. He also spots the flaw. Their plan will just make the second monster go berserk. But with a confident smirk, he decides he will just have to defeat them all. This clock hits 11:59 and Mio tosses the bomb as the countdown starts. Both girls stare down with intense focus as the timer hits 0. And a massive swirling red portal erupts right on schedule. This portal pulses with raw demonic energy ready to pop. And out come two monsters, which Sakura thinks is just great luck. Watching from the shadows, Sauda just calls them idiots for their bad math. Down below, Mio pulls the pin on her bomb, yelling for the attack to start, which goes off in a massive explosion right between the two targets. Through the smoke, she orders Sakura to deliver the finishing blows, but a furious roar cuts through the haze as the smoke clears. These girls are stunned to see one of the monsters is completely unhurt, because their bomb only took out the smaller masked guy, not the giant ape. This big fella immediately charges them, not a fan of being blown up. So they start unloading their pistols, which do absolutely nothing. Mio's face says it all, this plan has officially gone to hell. Suddenly, the masked monster they thought was down leaps in, telling them to run, enraging the gorilla beast even more as it winds up for a haymaker, and it absolutely flattens both girls with a single, brutal swing. This monster's giant hand slams down, showing just how outmatched they are. It then turns its attention to the masked guy, who is now leading it away. On the ground, a battered Mio desperately tells Sakura to escape, but Sakura is frozen in shock, just staring back at her friend. As the gorilla monster looms over her ready to deliver the final blow, Mio is screaming in absolute terror as the monster closes in. Sakura is right there with her, completely paralyzed by fear. Suddenly, a loud bang echoes through the sight, but the bullet just bounces right off the monster's hide. This just makes the giant ape even angrier because of course it does. And just as it is about to finish them, Sauda drops in from above. Sakura looks up, completely stunned to see him here. Nearby, Mio checks on the masked guy who tried to save them. He is telling Sakura to run, insisting they cannot possibly win. Then she finally recognizes her savior, calling out Sauda's name. Our boy just tells her to get away from the fight. This gorilla monster immediately takes the bait, leaping in for the kill. But Sauda meets its massive fist with a kick, stopping it dead. He grabs the monster's chained arm, holding back its immense strength. With a massive roar, he powers up, his eyes glowing with energy. Then he just spins and yeets the entire gorilla across the room. Even so, he admits his 10x strength boost only puts him on its level. So he decides to end it by summoning a glowing energy blade. This monster gets back up, roaring and ready for round 2, and Sauda channels that same power into his dagger for the final strike. Sauda's energy blade slices clean through the gorilla's neck. This monster lets out one last agonizing roar of pure shock, and with a final flourish, our boy lands as the beast dissolves into nothing. This system confirms it. Human number 1 just cleared a stage 2 and he is loving it. Its body vanishes into wisps of dark, swirling energy, leaving behind a glowing orb and a slingshot. Okay, sure. Down below, Mio and Sakura are just staring, completely speechless. Sauda gives them the smuggest grin imaginable, just soaking it all in. He then yells up at his buddy to get his butt down here already. But Takedo is still stuck in the rafters, having a full-blown panic attack about the height. Sauda just calls him useless, which Takedo does not appreciate, so he just leaps up there himself to go get him, grabbing his screaming friend and dragging him back to the ground floor. After they land, Sauda points to the down masked guy and tells Takedo to finish the job. Takedo immediately hesitates, clearly not ready for that kind of step. Just then, Mio interrupts, surprised they have not left yet. She thanks Sauda for the save, but immediately pivots to the monster's loot. Our boy shuts that down instantly, telling her it is not for sale. Mio tries a different angle, offering some kind of amazing deal instead. And of course, Takedo, ever the pragmatist, suggests maybe they should listen. Sauda tells Takedo to get his hands dirty and finish the second monster. His buddy takes the knife, ready to pop his monster-slaying cherry. With a shaky plunge, Takedo lands the final blow on the masked guy. This system congratulates him on his first kill, dropping a shiny orb and a gun. And of course, he immediately panics, asking if it is asterisk really asterisk dead this time. Sauda just tells him to wrap it up while Mio and Sakura watch the whole thing. Mio, supporting her injured friend, promises they will meet again before taking off. She admits his intel was way better and asks for his help in the future, offering literally anything he wants in return, which gets Sauda's attention. Turns out her family has a sworn duty to protect the entire city, so no pressure. Sauda plays it cool, saying he will consider it, but they need to scram. Mio thanks him, leaving Sakura as his future point of contact. Once they're gone, our boy finally lets out a sigh of relief. Then he turns to Takedo with the gorilla's loot and says, "Eat this stone." Without a second thought, Sauda just pops the glowing orb in his mouth. A massive wave of dark energy immediately explodes from his body, unlocking the soul of the lone wolf skill for a big boost to his stats. He exhales, feeling the new power coursing through him, but he just shrugs off the 10% reflex buff as so-so, what a show-off. Takedo sees his bitter expression and asks what kind of skill he got. Takedo explains his new skill is Eagle Eye, which he thinks is pretty useless in a fight, but Sauda gives him a supportive smack, telling him it is actually a great pull. He then tosses his buddy the slingshot, saying it is way more his style. And this thing is a fire elemental weapon that slows targets and auto-reloads. Sauda gives a satisfied smirk, noting the fire attribute is a solid bonus. Now it is Takedo's turn, so he asks what kind of stats his new gun has. His pistol has a precision skill that guarantees hits and buffs every 5th shot. Sauda is genuinely impressed, while Takedo thanks him for making it all happen. This two walk off, feeling like the kings of the world with their new power-ups. Meanwhile, Mio and Sakura are making their escape down a highway. Inside the car, Mio apologizes for her plan going so spectacularly wrong. She has already decided to run a full background check on their savior, Sauda. His name is clearly on her mind as she plots her next move. Elsewhere, our boys have decided to check into a hotel for the night. They settle into the room, finally getting a moment to breathe. Takedo finds the hotel choice weird, but Sauda just tells him to deal with it. This topic turns to money, and Takedo admits he is pretty much broke. Sauda just shrugs, predicting that paper currency is about to be obsolete anyway. At this, Takedo makes the most unholy goblin face of pure unfiltered greed, and Sauda instantly shuts him down, forbidding him from calling for asterisk any asterisk kind of escort. Takedo's goblin brain is already running wild with possibilities. Suddenly, a delivery call interrupts their very important planning session. Sauda just tells him to eat up because tomorrow the whole world changes. As he grabs the food, some serious-looking heels come strutting down the hall, and the woman attached to them gives him a very curious look over her shoulder. This hallway suddenly feels about a mile long and twice as awkward. Our boy plays it off with a nervous laugh, clearly a little flustered. Then he slams the door shut, breathing a sigh of relief. Over dinner, Sauda drops the first bombshell. Tomorrow, the sun is just gonna vanish. In its place, a creepy green emerald sun will light up the sky. A mysterious voice will then announce humanity's new management, the Deep Abyss. This little apocalypse teaser finally gets world leaders to start paying attention. He then explains that more powerful skill users will start popping up everywhere, leading to the creation of special military units to fight back. Scientists will even develop new weapons to counter the monster threat. But spoiler alert, none of it works and humanity gets absolutely wrecked. Takedo, trying to process all this, asks where he ranks in the current power scale. Sauda casually estimates there are 200 users and Takedo is probably in the top 30. His eyes narrow, maybe realizing what he just said. Meanwhile, Takedo's brain completely short-circuits at the news that he is a top-tier player. Takedo asks what is wrong, noticing Sauda's dead serious expression. Without another word, our boy just sprints out of the room, yelling he will be right back. His buddy finally puts it all together. Sauda has to be a reincarnator, which immediately sends him into a jealous crying fit because of course it does. Meanwhile, Sauda's at a different counter asking about a stylish woman. This receptionist mentions a freelancer who comes and goes as she pleases. And she has no clue why this woman slums it here when she could earn more elsewhere. That is all Sauda needs to hear, realizing it is exactly who he is looking for. This clerk is surprised he knows her, giving him a very curious look, so he just asks for her room number with a confident smile. She shuts him down, citing customer privacy, a true professional, until Sauda slaps a fat stack of cash on the desk and her principles evaporate. Suddenly, that information is available. It is room 502, she says with a wink. As he walks off, she begs him to keep quiet but also offers to help him if she gets fired. With the intel secured, Sauda heads straight for the elevator, mission in mind. He is thinking about the world's most powerful users known as the 12 Stars. Each one is a one-person army, strong enough to defend an entire city alone. Among them is the Destroyer of Scorpio, one of the 5 strongest of the bunch. A woman whose name is unknown but is identified by a rose tattoo on her back. She is also infamous for being especially brutal to men, taking them as her prisoners. Sauda steps out of the elevator, connecting the dots. This woman has to be Scorpio. He stands frozen at her door, wondering what his opening line should even be. This guy remembers her reputation for hating men, which complicates things just a little. Just then, the door lock clicks open. Talk about timing. And there she is, the woman from the hall, looking him up and down. She recognizes our boy, a sly smile playing on her lips. Sauda gets all flustered, trying to apologize for the random visit, but she just grabs his face, asking if he is a stalker. He is stammering, completely lost for words, which she takes as a negotiation, whispering her rates for a round. Next thing you know, Sauda's on the floor, completely drained, yelling that is not what he meant. From down the hall, she decides he is too weird and it is time to pack her bags. Back in the room, Sauda collapses onto the bed, wondering what just happened while Takedo snores away. This next morning, it is 7:59 a.m. and Takedo is just starting to wake up. His buddy is already at the window, telling him he cannot go back to sleep. Sauda warns him there is only 1 minute left until showtime. Takedo scrambles over, asking what is wrong with the sun. His face is pure disbelief as he sees what is happening. Up in the sky, a swirling green vortex is replacing the sun, just as predicted. Sauda watches intently, knowing the apocalypse is right on schedule. This entire city is bathed in an eerie green light from the sky. Down on the street, people are just now noticing, thinking their eyes are shot. But nope, everyone sees it and mass confusion starts to set in. That emerald vortex just keeps swirling, a sign of things to come. Meanwhile, the woman Sauda met is leaving, still salty about being woken up. She finally glances up, questioning the sun's new, very green aesthetic. Her first thought is cancer-induced color blindness, a perfectly rational leap. Against her better judgment, she is captivated by its beauty, reaching for the light. As her hand extends, the green sun seems to call out to her. Her vision flashes to a scorpion constellation burning in a nebula. And that same cosmic image is reflected right in her eye. A sudden wave of energy hits her, making her stumble back, and she just collapses on the sidewalk, shocking everyone nearby. Back in the hotel, Sauda tells a nervous Takedo to brace himself for the announcement. A booming voice from nowhere greets all the filthy, foolish earthlings. It announces that some of them have already received its gift. These chosen few now possess abilities far beyond normal humans. But for everyone else, it is time to experience true hell. This new management calls it a game, the Abyssal War, as a monster face appears. Abyssal monsters will now pour through teleportation circles to invade their world. This voice lays out the rules. If humans win, they get a power-up. But first, abyssal portals are about to pop up all over the planet. Specifically, 999 of them, each spawning a random number of monsters. Humanity's win condition is simple: kill every last one of them. And the lose condition is just as simple: get eaten down to the last person. This cosmic entity decides it is done with the exposition because spoilers are no fun. It then signs off with a very sarcastic good luck, which is just great. With that, the creepy purple energy just vanishes from the sky. Back in the room, Takedo finally breaks the silence, turning to Sauda. He is practically begging for some good news, asking if humanity wins in the end. Sauda just stays quiet, his expression doing all the talking. His mind flashes through the brutal war he knows is about to unfold. He finally gives an answer, saying if it is them, he is sure they will win. Takedo is completely floored by the us part, like, the two of us. Meanwhile, world leaders are getting the exact same apocalyptic briefing. An old-timer from a nation called Novalis confirms that Earth is now a monster playground. One military hothead immediately slams the table, demanding they use their weapons. This guy Matsumoto argues the army can handle it without civilian casualties, a real optimist. But another official immediately shoots that down, saying their guns were useless against a weak monster. Aido Ryuta finishes the thought. They have no idea if any asterisk of their weapons will work. Aido Ryuta demands to know what the plan is because winging it is not gonna cut it. A silver-haired official pitches the idea of a super squad to fight the monsters. This old-timer agrees but immediately passes the buck to Aido for recruitment. Good luck with that. He then puts Matsumoto on crowd control duty for the inevitable citywide freakout. With a resounding "yes, sir," the world's best and brightest are ready to go. Meanwhile, Sauda is already walking Takedo through the government's next move. Takedo immediately asks if they are going to join the new super team. But Sauda shuts that down hard, saying they will fight as mercenaries instead. He knows from experience that joining the government means losing all your freedom. This pay might be good, but being a state-sponsored puppet is a hard pass. Takedo, getting a little antsy, just wants to know what their first move is. Sauda says he has some personal business to handle and then they will train for weeks. His buddy gets a knowing look, asking if this business is what he thinks it is. He guesses it is about settling the score with his uncle, a little family drama to kick off the apocalypse. Sauda's eyes go cold, which is pretty much a yes. Takedo tries to be the moral compass, reminding him they are supposed to be heroes, not criminals. Our boy just sweats, saying he knows, but his face says otherwise. Then he smirks, promising to handle it his own way, which sounds totally legal. Elsewhere, two guys are trashing their new apartment, complaining about the monster invasion. This red-haired one is especially pissed, blaming Sauda for not giving them the house sooner. This uncle, meanwhile, is just chilling, telling his buddy to relax. He is sitting in the middle of a trashed room, enjoying the apocalypse, until he runs out of booze and demands his friend go buy more. And just like that, his friend gets impaled by a shadowy blade. This uncle freaks out, realizing his drinking buddy is super dead, because Sauda just kicked his way into the room, sending the guy flying. Our boy gives him a death glare, promising he is next on the list. This uncle screams he is a murderer and Sauda just goes, "I know." So he immediately pulls the family card, begging for his life. Sauda just scoffs at the very idea of them being family. He roars that his uncle stole from his mom and drove her to her grave. Then he asks how this trash could live with himself after taking everything. This uncle starts groveling, promising to tell him a secret if he stops. But Sauda's not interested in a deal, ready to deliver the same fate. In a panic, the uncle blurts out that he knows who killed his sister. That one line stops Sauda cold, completely thrown off. This guy clarifies, screaming that he knows who killed Sauda's mom. Our boy is just frozen in shock, his whole world shifting. His eyes start glowing as he demands to know who it was. And the uncle finally confesses it was Chief Kadu's nephew, a drunk driver. Sauda's eyes blaze as he demands to know how his uncle knows all this. This uncle spills everything. He got the chief drunk and has been blackmailing him for cash. It all clicks for Sauda. This is why the cops buried his mom's case. After begging for his life, the uncle watches Sauda turn to leave. But the second he thinks he is safe, he starts mouthing off a truly terrible life choice. A sudden, sharp pain rips through him, his eye wide with shock. He collapses, clutching a shadowy blade that just sprouted from his chest. That same blade retracts in a flash of dark energy, and Sauda just admires his handiwork, a grim smile on his face. Right on cue, Takedo walks in to find a fresh corpse in the hallway. Our boy gives him the world's most casual advice: just ignore it, lots more of this to come. With that family drama settled, he announces their 2-week training montage for Takedo's Eagle Eye. So the two of them are packed and ready to get stronger. Sauda asks if he is ready, and Takedo is all in for this apocalypse road trip. They seal the deal with a fist bump, officially kicking off their partnership. 2 weeks fly by and we see a car cruising down the road. Inside, two women are discussing a mysterious guy named Shiju who is helping them out. This silver-haired one says her background check on him came up clean except for some shady relatives. Their destination is an abandoned factory he pointed them to, and the pink-haired girl suddenly spots their targets, looking a little stunned. They pull up to the abandoned factory just like the tip said, and find some blonde pretty boy just waiting for them. Their massive SUV screeches to a halt right in front of him, as the two women step out to meet their mysterious contact. This guy greets them with a flashy wink, acting like a total superstar. But the ladies are serving up some world-class unimpressed glares, until the pink-haired girl's eyes go wide with recognition. She realizes this dramatic new guy is actually Asahi Takedo, who strikes a pose, asking if they'd already forgotten his glorious face. This silver-haired woman notes that power changes people, but this is just ridiculous. Suddenly, a backpack comes flying through the air, which Takedo catches without even breaking his cool guy stance. Because Sauda's here telling his buddy it is time to get going, he hops into their ride, ready to take the lead on this mission. Takedo just smirks, totally calling out Sauda for trying to look cool. With everyone buckled in, the driver asks Shiju for their destination. Sauda reveals the third portal is opening under the Twin Tower ruins. His new ally just says got it and floors it. By 11:30 p.m., they are approaching the ominous towers under a full moon. And they arrive at the underground site marked with a giant number 3. This silver-haired woman confirms Sauda's intel was dead on. He asks if she can sense anyone else nearby. She reports the place is completely deserted and has been for a while. Sauda smirks, saying a rank 3 monster is coming and he will handle the attack. Takedo immediately gets clingy, reminding Sauda he has got another power user right here. Our boy just elbows him in the face, telling him not to screw it up, peak friendship. Right on schedule, a swirling vortex of purple energy starts to form. Sauda's eyes go wide as he announces the monster's arrival. Meanwhile, their two new allies are wisely taking cover behind a wall. This portal spits out a massive, writhing blob of purple goo. Takedo is completely floored by the sheer size of this slime monster. Sauda tells him to keep it together as they face down the giant horror. He reminds his buddy of the plan, tossing him a special-looking gun. Takedo recites the monster's two attack patterns: acid spit or tentacle strikes. This strategy is simple: he will destroy the tentacles, then Sauda moves in, so the two of them stand ready against the massive, goopy nightmare. Takedo is already looking disgusted, completely creeped out by the wriggling. Sauda just tells him to focus because they need to end this fast. And the monster makes the first move, lashing out with a slimy tentacle, which then splits into a whole barrage of purple goo missiles raining down on them. Takedo's eagle eye flares to life, ready for some serious target practice. He starts blasting away, promising to tear the giant goo ball to pieces. Both guys flip and dive through the air, dodging a literal rain of purple slime. Sauda, of course, lands with a cool, focused glare. Then he is back in the air, knife out, screaming as he goes for the kill shot. A single clean slice takes a huge chunk out of the monster, and the whole thing just melts into a big, sad puddle on the ground. Sauda gives the all-clear, telling the ladies they can come out now. He orders the pink-haired girl to do it, and she is understandably confused. As she raises her hand, a tiny black orb comes flying down from above. Takedo absolutely screams, telling her to get away from there. This entire team is caught completely off guard by the sudden attack. A massive energy beam vaporizes the spot, but Sauda tackles her to safety just in time. He lands holding her bridal style as everyone demands to know who the intruder is. A new voice congratulates them on dodging as the slime monster reforms behind them. This new, scarred-up guy smirks, saying he will let them off just this once. He walks in like he owns the place, claiming the monster is his property. This team can only watch as he strolls past and the monster follows him obediently. Sauda is just seething, his entire plan completely up in smoke, and the silver-haired woman immediately roasts him for his totally unreliable intel. Ouch. This silver-haired woman immediately takes the blame, apologizing for the intel screw-up. Then some new long-haired guy strolls in, telling them to knock off the blame game and scram. He looms over the team, declaring that according to the books, they are not supposed to be here yet. Our boy knows this is a massive curveball, but decides they have got to take this new threat down now, so it is an old-fashioned standoff, boots to boots. This long-haired guy gets in his face, calling him a scared brat, as Sauda realizes this is the butterfly effect in action. Sauda's response to all this posturing is just a heavy sigh. This, of course, completely offends the villain, who demands to know why he dared to sigh. With a smirk, Sauda grabs the guy's wrist, claiming he totally saw this coming, and the villain's face is pure unadulterated shock, because Sauda just lands a massive blow, sending him reeling back. He is not messing around, putting all his strength into the attack, but the guy just tanks it, smirking that it was a decent shot for a brat. This villain returns the favor with a massive kick, as Sauda realizes he is dealing with some kind of kinetic power user. Seeing an opening, Sauda yells for Takedo to jump in now, and Takedo unleashes a storm of golden energy blasts from his gun. But the long-haired baddie just deflects every single shot with his floating black orbs. He is actually impressed, admitting he underestimated how good these two kids are. So Takedo goes for broke, charging up a massive flame attack to finish this. But the villain looks completely unimpressed, claiming that flashy move will not work on him. Takedo's massive blast seemingly punches a hole right through the villain. For a second, the guy actually drops to his knees, clutching his chest. But that look of pain quickly twists into pure, unadulterated rage. As Takedo mocks him for not being so tough, the villain weirdly tells them to surrender. Then he just explodes forward in a blur of motion. Sauda realizes with a jolt that he is not the target at all, because the guy is suddenly right in Takedo's face with a psycho grin. Takedo just barely manages to block the incoming punch, but the sheer force of the blow sends him flying across the room anyway. Seeing his partner get blasted, Sauda absolutely loses it. He immediately launches himself into a furious counterattack, only to get his entire face caught midair, a truly terrible look for him. This villain just smashes him straight down into the concrete, leaving Sauda dazed on the ground and completely at his mercy. Dark energy just pours off this guy as he looms over our boy. He grabs Sauda by the jaw, winding up for another hit, and just unloads a brutal right hook straight to the face. This impact sends a nasty shockwave through Sauda's entire body. This villain smirks, noting his physical boost skill, but is clearly unimpressed. Before calling him way too weak and delivering another devastating blow. While the boys are getting absolutely demolished, the ladies are just watching in shock. This silver-haired woman yells, "Do not move," at the long-haired villain now on the floor, but some new guy in a tank top just blitzes in and decks her, sending her gun flying. He stands over her, telling the pink-haired girl to stay put. Next thing you know, we are in a hospital room getting the post-brawl medical report. This pink-haired girl is relieved to hear her captain just has some minor fractures, and the doctor says Takedo's only got some muscle damage, nothing serious, which is his cue to immediately start flexing, proclaiming how awesome he is. His bandaged arm shakes under the sheer force of his own hype, before he immediately crumples in pain, truly a masterclass in looking cool. After the doctor makes a hasty exit, the three of them are left alone. Sauda apologizes to the girl, Chang Ting, for how badly the mission went. He quickly pivots, asking what her special ability is. She gets super excited, practically vibrating with the need to show off. To start, a tiny flame appears right on her fingertip. These guys are instantly impressed, assuming she's just a fire user. But Chang Ting gives them a smug little smile, hinting there is way more to it. Her real power is full-on elemental mastery, juggling fire, water, earth, and plants. Takedo's jaw hits the floor, his brain short-circuiting from the awesome display. Sauda, meanwhile, is already processing, remembering the novel's rules on elemental types. He remembers the novel mentioning a legendary all-element user, a total powerhouse. And Chang Ting smugly confirms that yeah, she is basically that legend reborn. Her power covers all the bases, fire and water for pure offense, wood for healing, a full-on support class in one, earth for some seriously heavy-duty defense, and even metal to buff up weapons, making her a walking cheat code. Takedo is so starstruck he asks to trade powers, getting shut down for being an idiot. Changing the subject, Sauda asks her plan and she hints at some juicy intel. Our boy is immediately interested, telling her to spill it. She reveals the government is already forming a special team to fight the Abyss Seeds. Chang Ting then invites him to join the official forces, but he is not interested. This news just confirms for Sauda that the timeline is accelerating way faster than he thought. She tries to convince him, warning that fighting these things alone is a death sentence, but Sauda points out the obvious downside: joining means losing his independence. Chang Ting looks genuinely concerned for him. He promises he will still protect the country just on his own terms, no strings attached. She relents, offering her help anytime, which he immediately cashes in on. With zero shame, Sauda admits he is completely broke and needs some cash. Chang Ting just laughs, flexing that while her family's whatever, she's got money to burn. Then she offers him a cool billion, which just about fries Takedo's entire nervous system. Our boy shamelessly haggles, asking if a billion is too much, maybe 50 million will do. Chang Ting just shushes him, playing coy about having any ulterior motives. Then she agrees to the full billion, telling him to just send over the account info. Takedo's brain completely short-circuits at the casual display of wealth. With the deal done, Sauda thanks her and tries to make a quick exit with his partner. He even dismisses Takedo's injury while Takedo himself is screaming for a second opinion. Watching them go, Chang Ting correctly guesses he is planning to build his own army. Meanwhile, the guys head out into the city to put the plan in motion. Takedo immediately questions why they need cash if the economy is about to collapse. Sauda lays out the grand vision. They are starting their own mercenary group. First order of business is buying a base, a job he dumps on Takedo's real estate uncle. His only instructions are to find a secret spot and threaten his uncle if needed, standard business practice. Takedo rightly points out that he sounds exactly like a supervillain. With that settled, Sauda declares it is time to get back to training. His partner just stares off, probably rethinking all his life choices. Suddenly, a loud "oh no" echoes from somewhere above them. This scene cuts to some kind of industrial building. Inside, two people are just laid out cold on the floor. A nearby screen plays a broadcast about a new special department to fight Abyss Seeds, and the anchor confirms this new force is already active in 6 major cities. With their new base under construction, the guys are just vibing on the floor. Takedo is already bored out of his mind, itching for the next big fight. Our boy reveals the next Abyss Seed is in 3 days, telling him to get ready. And right on cue, a red-haired woman wreathed in dark energy crashes the party, screaming she has found them. This boys instantly snap into a fighting stance, ready for a throwdown. This newcomer is seriously ticked off, claiming she got chewed out for a week because of them, and she is absolutely fuming, blaming them for whatever punishment she got. In a flashback, she remembers seeing Sauda before, shocked to learn he has powers. Sauda ids her as Scorpio, but is totally clueless as to why she is hunting them down. Then all that big villain energy just deflates as she hits the floor, desperately asking for water. And Takedo, bless his simple heart, immediately runs to help the scary lady who just broke in. Their hands touch over the water bottle, because of course this is the time for a meet cute. She immediately lays it on thick, asking if the handsome little brother is single. This full court press continues, asking him what he thinks of sister. And Takedo's entire system just blue screens, poor guy never stood a chance. Sauda, the only adult in the room, cuts in to ask what she actually wants. She formally introduces herself as Scorpio from the 12 Celestial Stars mercenary group. Then she reveals that the tank top guy they fought before is one of her teammates. Takedo's brain finally catches up and he immediately draws on her, asking if she is here for revenge. But she just gently pushes his gun down, saying she is not here for a fight, she is here with a job offer. Sauda tries to get a word in, but Scorpio just shushes him. Her offer is simple: join her captain's crew or die right here. Takedo steps up all smug, reminding her it is 2-on-1, which is when his entire world gets turned upside down in a flash, because he is suddenly on the floor, completely paralyzed. Some kind of poison attack has him screaming about her dirty tricks. Sauda can only watch in shock as his partner gets taken out so easily. He immediately moves to intervene, but Scorpio is completely unfazed. In fact, she is just laughing at Takedo's sudden change of heart. Then her whole vibe shifts, demanding an answer with some serious killer intent. Both our boys are sweating, realizing they are in way over their heads, but just then a new voice interrupts, calling Scorpio an old witch. A whole new crew of thugs just walked in, led by a very angry man in a bow tie. Scorpio is clearly not happy to see them. She explains this is the Poison Sting Squad, and yeah, they have got history. Their leader goes on a very detailed rant about breaking her bones and feeding her to wolves. Sauda, ever the curious one, asks what she did to piss him off so badly, and she just deadpans that she castrated him, a perfectly reasonable explanation. Our boy's brain just completely shuts down hearing that. With that little bombshell dropped, the new squad charges in for revenge. This bowtie guy starts his villain monologue with some truly classy insults. Scorpio is absolutely not having it, looking ready to tear him apart. He just keeps gloating, insisting he is totally prepared for her tricks. With a surge of power, she unleashes a storm of green, toxic energy. Sauda meanwhile tells Takedo he has neutralized the poison and to get clear. A massive wave of corrosive power erupts from Scorpio's hands. This toxic sludge screams towards the enemy squad, targeting one guy specifically. But the target just smirks, activating some kind of golden light power. His purification shield completely tanks her ultimate poison attack. Scorpio is stunned while the guy gives her the smuggest grin in history. This boss explains he brought a hard counter just for her poison. She is absolutely furious, realizing she walked right into a trap. Before she can recover, another goon hits her with a blade attack. This blow sends her flying backwards, already coughing up blood. Seeing their chance, the whole squad charges in to finish the job. Their assault is cut short by a sudden spray of bullets at their feet. Takedo is back up, guns drawn and telling them not to move. Sauda steps in front of the downed Scorpio, reminding her she owes them big time. This goons immediately get nervous, realizing they are facing two more ability users, and the boss, seething with rage, reluctantly calls for a retreat. Scorpio is absolutely livid, screaming for them to hunt down and kill the retreating squad. Sauda just calmly powers up his blue energy, looking like he is about to do something. A massive streak of light tears through the area, except it was not them, and now she is yelling at our boys for not helping her. Then she gets all dramatic, sighing that this whole mess is her fault. Her new sales pitch is that since they are all enemies now, their only hope is joining her crew. But Sauda, smooth as ever, says he has a better suggestion. She is a little thrown, asking if he is suggesting she join them. With glowing eyes, our boy hits her with the Uno reverse card. Exactly, join us. She is genuinely shocked he is serious about recruiting her. Amused, Scorpio says she is not that easy to win over. He checks if she is hurt, but she just smugly hints her powers are more than just poison. Takedo, meanwhile, is losing his mind, accusing her of trying to trick them again. And she just owns it, saying beautiful women are naturally deceptive, a solid defense, honestly. With a little heart-kiss goodbye, she floats away, promising to repay the favor. Takedo is already complaining that they have now pissed off two different factions. Sauda just shrugs it off, saying their base is compromised and it is time to go. Their next target is in 5 days, so he suggests a little pre-battle vacation. So the two head off towards the next city on their apocalypse tour. While walking along an overpass, Takedo suddenly points something out. Turns out he was pointing at a registration center for a new Abyss combat team. Takedo immediately suggests they go take a look ever the tourist. Sauda gives it a moment's thought, probably calculating the odds of getting killed, but his partner just grabs him, insisting they check it out since they are already here. Our boy agrees, but his real goal is to scout for powerful characters from the novel to recruit. Inside, the place is buzzing with hopefuls and some very serious-looking guards. This two of them just stroll up to the front like they own the place, and they are immediately met by a sharp-dressed man asking if they are here to sign up. Sauda, ever the schemer, asks if you have to have abilities to join. This man smoothly replies that as long as you have skills, you are welcome to try out. Then he introduces himself as Chi Ji-Yuan, the person in charge of Zone 6. That name instantly rings a bell, and Sauda is visibly shocked. Chi Ji-Yuan definitely notices the reaction, looking pretty pleased with himself. So Sauda plays it off, saying he has a friend with the same name, a rock-solid excuse obviously. In a flashback, he remembers this guy as the most feared non-ability user in the entire novel. This Chi Ji-Yuan was an ex-authority figure who started his own merc group after his city was destroyed. Nobody knew what his actual power was, just that he was a tactical genius who won impossible fights. His most legendary feat was taking down 3 high-level Abyss seeds all by himself. He even fought the strongest member of Scorpio's 12 stars and won. This guy was so op they called him the Crownless King, and he is standing right in front of them. Sauda remembers that in the novel, this guy's entire army got completely wiped out. And with his dying breath, Chi Ji-Yuan insisted he was just a normal dude with no powers. Our boy immediately realizes he has to get this tactical genius on his side. Playing it cool, he asks for a tour, claiming they're just regular guys who want to help. Chi Ji-Yuan seems to buy it, inviting them to his office with a very knowing smirk. As they head inside, we see a pretty calm outdoor rest area within the facility. Meanwhile, a completely different crew is casing the joint, noting the heavy security. One of them scoffs that his powers only detect 3 ability users' total pushovers. Their blonde leader gets on his comms, asking if the target is locked on. High above the city, a threat is definitely lining up a shot. A sniper on a rooftop confirms lock-on, ready to fire at a moment's notice. With a truly evil grin, the boss starts a 5-minute countdown for the attack. This order is confirmed and the assassination plan is officially a go. Back in the office, our boys are sitting across from the legend himself. Chi Ji-yoon begins pouring tea, playing the part of a perfect host. He offers them a cup of his favorite blend, looking entirely too calm. But Sauda, not trusting a single thing, politely turns down the offer. Amused by their caution, Chi Ji-yoon decides it is time to drop the act. His eyes practically glow as he asks them what their real purpose is. And both our heroes are completely floored, not expecting to get called out so fast. Chi Ji-yoon immediately calls their bluff, knowing they are ability users who are not here to sign up. His focus narrows right onto Sauda, who is just sitting there trying to look innocent. With a classic evil genius pose, he smugly states that Sauda definitely knows who he is. Sauda tries to play it off with a wave, using the rock-solid excuse that he has a friend with the same name. But Chi Ji-yoon explains he has a special intuition that lets him see through people. This guy's basically a human lie detector, reading everything from posture to taste, which is a little creepy. He lays out the big problem. Sauda knows him, but he has no idea who Sauda is. So the mask comes off and he demands to know their real purpose for being here. Our boy is sweating now, feeling the intense pressure from this so-called crownless king. He makes one last attempt to de-escalate, insisting they are just ordinary people. Chi Ji-yoon, completely done with the games, decides to send them to the interrogation department. In a flash, a blue energy cage materializes around them, trapping them in the office. He explains this little toy can hold anyone strong enough to take down a level 3 abyss seed. Sauda's immediate reaction is to power up and punch the high-tech prison. That move actually gets a flicker of surprise from the otherwise stoic Chi Ji-yoon. This barrier is tough, but our boy is already putting some serious cracks in it. With another solid hit, the whole thing just shatters into digital fragments. Having made his point, Sauda finally drops the act and admits he is an ability user. He looks him dead in the eye, insisting they have absolutely no malicious intent. Chi Ji-yoon is already analyzing, realizing that to break that cage, Sauda's power must be level 4 or 5. Chi Ji-yoon suddenly changes his tune, claiming he is helpless and has to trust them. Sauda just plays along with a grin, asking if he really looks like a bad guy. And right on cue, a massive explosion rips through the side of the building. Our boy is completely blindsided by the sudden attack. He instantly grabs Takedo, pulling him out of the way of falling debris. Chi Ji-yoon, however, just seems mildly annoyed by this whole assassination attempt. A shadowy monster hand lunges for him, only to be met by a fireball. Takedo's blast completely shatters the incoming attack. As the smoke clears, our boys are standing guard, ready for round 2. Chi Ji-yoon is already analyzing the enemy, noting their resistance to elemental powers. But Takedo points out his fire still burned them, so they are not invincible. An urgent message comes in. The entire headquarters is under heavy attack. We see the blonde leader from before, confirming his team is behind the assault. Sauda immediately takes charge, ordering all departments to prepare for a response. He turns to Chi Ji-yoon, swearing they are not involved and offering to help. Using that creepy lie detector intuition of his, Chi Ji-yoon decides to believe him for now. He tells them to follow him to the first-floor lobby to deal with the threat. Outside, the building's automated defense systems start to activate. A massive energy cannon fires from the roof, targeting the attackers. This enemy leader is pissed they reacted so fast, but smugly says it is no use. From the rooftops, one of the attackers unleashes a massive purple energy blast, and it completely obliterates the building's main defense cannon in one shot. This witch hat lady smugly reports back to her boss that the suppression was a success. With a truly punchable grin, the blonde leader orders his team to move in. Inside, a trio of the base's defenders realizes they are under a full-blown assault. This attacking crew just strolls into the lobby, facing off against guards and ability users. One of the goons asks if a minute is enough, but the boss boasts he only needs 10 seconds. What a show-off. So the blonde psycho just starts a casual countdown, enjoying every single moment. His subordinate is just completely in awe of his boss's thorough planning. Meanwhile, the base's main defenders power up, yelling about terrorism and surrender. This countdown hits 5 and the boss's smirk just gets wider. As the defenders leap into action, the guy in the cap moves to intercept them. But then he just vanishes, leaving the lead defender completely baffled. Turns out he just zipped right past all of them in a blur. He coolly announces his 10 seconds are up, mission accomplished. This regular guards finally get their turn, opening fire on the intruders, which does absolutely nothing as the blonde leader stops every bullet in midair. One of the guards understandably freaks out, calling him a monster. This guy is just playing with the bullets like they are toys, admiring his own handiwork. Then he sends every single bullet flying right back at the guards who fired them. This blonde psycho takes a dramatic bow, thanking the guards for the target practice. He then orders his team to split up and find the core data within 14 minutes, but someone suddenly yells a warning at him, because a bullet is now flying right at his very punchable face. Turns out Sauda and the gang have arrived and our boy is already shooting. On comms, the witch hat sniper reports a new ability user she wants to play with. Her boss just tells her not to take too long, oozing unearned confidence. Up on the roof, the sniper powers up her rifle, loading some kind of explosive magic round. Down below, Chi Ji-yoon steps forward, demanding to know who these clowns are. This blonde leader just smirks, correctly guessing he is the one in charge here. One of his goons introduces their crew as the Rose Waltz Mercenary Corps. That name seems to ring a bell for Chi Ji-yoon, who looks seriously concerned. Sauda, however, knows this group is a total nobody from the novel's future. Cutting through the BS, Chi Ji-eun just asks who sent them. This leader gives a whole speech about professional mercenaries not betraying their employers, before telling them to go to hell and ask Satan because of course he does. And right on cue, a purple sniper round screams down the hall toward them. Takedo spots the threat instantly, yelling out a warning. He leaps into action, firing his own pistol to intercept the shot, and the two bullets collide in a massive flash of light and energy. Takedo and the sniper are in a standoff, and the guy is thrilled to find a fellow gunslinger. He pulls out a special skull-marked bullet, basically asking if Takedo can handle the good stuff. Then he fires off another massive purple energy-infused round. Takedo's eye flares up, sensing this shot is on a whole different level. So he channels his own power, engulfing his pistol in golden fire. These two magic bullets race toward each other for an epic collision, and the impact creates a huge explosion that rocks the entire lobby. This blonde leader smugly notes his sniper found a rival, but the sniper insists he has still got tricks. Inside the smoke, Chi Ji-eun points out the obvious: they are pinned by a very strong opponent. Sauda plants his feet, cracking the floor as he makes a decision. He quickly analyzes the situation. They are outgunned and suppressed by a pro with his eyes glowing. Sauda admits they have almost no chance of winning this fight. His brilliant tactical decision is to yell run and book it. This whole crew makes a dramatic exit, diving right through a busted window. That blonde psycho just smirks, getting a lock on their position from his team. His sniper has a perfect shot, but the boss calls off the pursuit for now. Up on the roof, the sniper is genuinely bummed he cannot finish his gunfight. Our heroes land in a nearby corridor, thinking they are safe for a second. Sauda turns to his friends, apologizing for the tough choice he has to make. But Chi Ji-eun cuts in, saying running was smart, but they are underestimating the base's other defenses. Chi Ji-eun calmly swipes a keycard, unlocking a secure corridor. On his phone, he orders the ability user Special Forces to mobilize immediately. After hanging up, he lights a cigarette because of course he does. He just tells our boys to head on back, leaving them in the hall. Sauda's mind is racing, realizing this base has its own elite squad. Meanwhile, in the lobby, the blonde psycho is captured, his whole team totally neutralized. He is completely losing it, screaming about how their powers just suddenly failed. Looking up at the soldiers, he calls them monsters in disbelief, and gets his face promptly introduced to the floor for his troubles. This squad's captain looms over him, mockingly repeating the word monsters. This guy then asks who the real monsters are here, turning the tables. One of his men reports the enemy sniper got away, calling him cunning, but the captain just scoffs, dismissing him as a scared rat on the run. Pinned to the ground, the blonde leader is having a full-blown tantrum about being a chosen genius. His pathetic ranting continues as the special forces just stand over his defeated crew. These guys are the real deal, a proper professional cleanup crew. They meet up with our heroes, and Sauda immediately roasts Chi Ji-eun for booking it so fast. Chi Ji-eun just smiles, introducing the scarred captain as Black Panther, who is apparently the captain of the 4th District Special Forces. Sauda recognizes that name. This is a legendary fighter from the novel, Chi Ji-eun's strongest ally. Black Panther offers a smoke, oozing pure badass energy. Our boys immediately turn into Chibis, politely refusing the offer. This captain then asks Sauda if he recognizes his legendary face, but Sauda plays dumb, claiming it is their first time meeting. Internally, he is realizing he needs a much better poker face around these monsters. Black Panther announces he has got business to handle, leaving them with the boss, not before telling Chi Ji-eun he is poaching the 2 kids for his department. Chi Ji-eun just smiles, fully endorsing his captain's eye for talent, so he formally asks if they are willing to join the organization. Sauda gives the classic "I will help, but I am not signing up" speech. An answer Chi Ji-eun accepts, leaving the door open for later. He then excuses himself to go deal with the mess in the lobby. Our boys just watch him go, the conversation seemingly over. But Sauda suddenly asks about the next abyss, confirming it is in 4 days. And Chi Ji-eun's quiet correction completely shatters his composure. A terrifying pressure emanates from the boss, who just dropped a huge hint. He just gives this knowing, smug little smile. It is in 5 days, he says, hoping to see them again before walking off. Left alone on the plaza, the two are left to process that bombshell. Sauda can only call the guy a monster, making Takedo wonder if he is like Sauda. Sauda's mind is just reeling. Is Chi Ji-eun the same as him? He realizes he cannot prove he is the only one with future knowledge. But Takedo snaps him out of it, asking what their next move is. And Sauda just declares that the next abyss is theirs for the taking. If he is not unique, he will just get strong enough to beat everyone. Problem solved. Sometime later, a city block is completely locked down by armed forces. The streets below are eerily empty, a ghost town in broad daylight. Takedo's powers flare up, sensing an overwhelming presence nearby. Inside a high-rise, he tells Sauda their situation looks hopeless. Our boy is having a full-on dramatic breakdown, saying he wants to cry. Then a sing-song voice calls from the door, asking her little brother to let her in. Both of them instantly recognize that voice, and they are not happy about it. Takedo panics, wondering how the hell she found them. Outside, the woman's patience is clearly wearing thin, so she just uses her powers to magically unlock the door herself. In walks a red-haired woman with 2 very large goons in tow. One of the guys gives a friendly wave, calling them rascals. Sauda and Takedo are just radiating pure "get out of my house" energy, before the lady shoves her minion aside because she is the one in charge here. She sweetly tells them she is just here to talk business, which is never a good sign. Sauda is deeply unimpressed by her definition of business. One of the guys introduces himself as Badger, captain of the 12 celestial stars, and Takedo immediately bursts out laughing at that ridiculous codename. His own teammate roasts him for it, but Badger thinks it is a great name. Sure you do, buddy. Internally, Sauda knows this guy is a complete non-factor from the novel. Badger gets serious, revealing a new abyss is set to appear at midnight. He explains the location is already locked down and they are well aware of the situation. Sauda cuts right to it, asking if they want help seizing the abyss seed. With a confident snap, Badger confirms that is exactly the mission, but Sauda's answer is a swift and simple "I refuse." He lays out the facts: they are outnumbered and outgunned, so there is no point in talking. Besides, winning would just paint a massive target on their backs from the whole 6th district. They'd literally become enemies of the state, which is a terrible career path. This long-haired goon is impressed by the kid's sharp analysis, so he pulls out a small pouch, asking if this is enough to change his mind. Inside are two incredibly rare, glowing abyss stones. Takedo's eyes practically pop out of his head at the sight of them. Even Sauda is clearly tempted by such a high-stakes offer. Badger explains the blue stone is for body enhancement, which his team cannot use. As for the gold one, its owner is someone Sauda has already met. Sauda connects the dots: that gold stone belonged to the sniper, and Badger gives him a smug ding ding ding, we have a winner. A quick flashback shows his team absolutely dismantling the sniper's crew to get it. He sweetens the pot, claiming both stones are 100% compatible with them. With a huge grin, he asks if they are ready to reconsider his generous offer. Takedo immediately starts whispering to Sauda, asking if dead users just drop loot like in a video game. Our boy clarifies that it is an incredibly rare phenomenon actually. But Takedo's eyes are sparkling, totally sold on the high-risk, high-reward gamble. Sauda just asks if he is tired of living because this plan has "get killed" written all over it. So he turns back and delivers a firm "I still refuse," much to Takedo's horror. Badger sighs, annoyed the kid will not just take the obviously amazing deal. Even his long-haired goon is freaking out, grabbing his arm in disbelief. Changing his approach, Badger pulls out the golden sniper stone and just tosses it over as a gift, a totally not a trap gesture of friendship. His own teammate starts to question this sudden act of charity, but a single glowing death stare from the captain shuts him right up. This guy instantly pivots to nervous laughter, deciding he will just be quiet now. Good call. As the trio walks off, Badger hopes they can cooperate in the future. Sauda just watches them go, his face radiating pure uncut suspicion. This scene pans over the deserted city block, the stage for the next abyss. Badger's long-haired lackey is still processing that freebie abyss stone. This captain just asks him to analyze Sauda and Takedo's relationship. He keeps pressing, asking what kind of bond they have, which is not helping. Are they friends, comrades, or a team like theirs? This guy's brain is just a blue screen of death, totally lost. Badger roasts him, saying if he had half a brain he'd be useful. Then he just walks off, leaving his man stewing in confusion. So the goon turns to the red-haired lady for answers, getting only a death glare. She just walks off too because teamwork is optional in this squad, and he finally snaps, screaming about why no one can just talk normally. Meanwhile, Takedo is also wondering what that whole gift was about. Sauda just says trap or not, free loot is free loot, telling him to absorb it. So Takedo goes for it, and a massive pillar of golden energy erupts from him. This power-up literally lights up the whole building for everyone to see. He is absolutely buzzing, his eagle eye range more than doubled and a new skill unlocked. His evolved eye can now lock onto targets within 500 meters, no hiding allowed. He is feeling pretty invincible now, a one-man army in the making. Sauda is genuinely impressed by the new power. Takedo now thinks they should have taken the deal so Sauda could get a power-up too. But Sauda's just thinking about his own secret. He can absorb any stone, a fact he is keeping to himself for now. Takedo asks if they should warn Chi-Jiun, but Sauda's just like, that monster does not need our help. This very thought of that guy makes Takedo break out in a cold sweat. Point taken. Sauda explains they need to get strong enough to conquer the next abyss or they are toast. But Takedo points out the tiny flaw in their grand plan: they have no team. Mentally, Sauda runs through the listers, realizing none of them are viable recruits. He digs deep into his novel knowledge, desperately searching for a hidden gem. A sudden light bulb goes off, making Takedo think he has finally lost his mind. He just grins, admitting he is an idiot for forgetting such a key player. Turns out, he is remembered a nobody from the novel with a legendary power. This future legend got his start at a children's welfare center in the old F-City. He explains to a baffled Takedo that this recruit is their ticket to the big leagues. Without another word, he is dragging his confused friend out the door on a new mission. Arriving at the location, Sauda admits this whole trip is a complete long shot. They find themselves staring at a playground where a man is watching over some kids. This man walks over, politely asking what business they have at a children's center. Sauda immediately cooks up a story about being investors, shaking the guy's hand. This director, Zhu Fei, is absolutely overjoyed to meet his new benefactors. He invites them inside to discuss the details, totally buying their flimsy cover. Just then, a shout interrupts them: someone's here to collect a debt from Zhu Fei. A whole gang of thugs appears, and they definitely do not look like they are here to donate. This director nervously asks his investors for a moment to handle this. He is busy begging the lead thug for just a few more days to find funding. But the lone sharks heard that story a month ago. Patience is officially gone. With a shove, he demands the money or the yard as payment. Zhu Fei is on the ground, completely humiliated and desperate. He still pleads for them to believe him one last time. This boss could not care less, already planning to build a resort on the land. Then he orders his goons to throw out all the children. What a charmer. That is the final straw for the director, who is shaking with rage. Takedo asks if they should step in, but Sauda is just watching the show. This thugs start moving forward, ready to clear the place out. So Zhu Fei stands his ground, promising he will pay back every cent. Turns out the boss never wanted the money, he just wanted the land from the start. He even whines that the kids are ruining his feng shui, truly a top-tier scumbag. With a final warning, the director tells him not to push it. This thug just mocks him, asking what he is gonna do about it. Suddenly, Zhu Fei's entire aura shifts into something terrifying. His eye glows with a dark, ominous power, and a massive demonic entity manifests right behind him. This lone shark immediately starts bawling his eyes out, which is the correct response. This lone shark is on the ground, having a full-on mental breakdown. His crew thinks it is a medical emergency. Nope, just pure unadulterated terror. As the thugs drag their boss away, Takedo is just staring, completely stunned. Sauda meanwhile has the smuggest I knew it face I have ever seen. Back inside, Zhu Fei apologizes for the unpleasantness, offering them water. Sauda just cuts right through the small talk, asking how long he has had his power. Zhu Fei tries to play dumb, sweating bullets and acting like he has no idea what is going on. Our boy is not buying it for a second, telling him the world has changed and he knows it. He lays it out plain and simple. Earth is now a battleground for abyss seeds, and the old rules are about to be completely rewritten by this new reality. Sauda acknowledges his power but says it is not enough to protect the kids. Then he drops the hammer on his own. It is completely impossible. He explains that one person's strength just will not cut it in the world to come. With more powered people popping up, Zhu Fei will be hopelessly outmatched defending this place alone. Finally losing his patience, Zhu Fei demands to know what they really want, and Sauda gives him a grin, ready to drop the sales pitch of a lifetime. He formally introduces himself as Chang Ting and his friend Cheng Yu, extending a hand. Then comes the big offer. He wants Zhu Fei to join their team. Zhu Fei immediately gets suspicious, asking if they are with the government, but Sauda clarifies they are just a small, independent mercenary group. Zhu Fei immediately gets to the point. Joining them means putting the children in danger. Sauda just hits him with a dead serious yes, zero sugarcoating. That is an instant no from the director, but Sauda counters that it also means protection. He starts painting a grim picture of the future when ability users run wild, and asks what he will do when the old laws are completely gone, because what happens when that lone shark just hires his own powered goons to fight back? This logic completely short-circuits Zhu Fei, leaving him stammering, so Sauda makes a personal vow to protect the kids with his own life if he joins. Zhu Fei is having a full-blown crisis, clutching his head over the impossible choice. Our boy tells him to take his time, then just turns to leave, a classic sales tactic. They actually walk out, leaving the director to stew in his own anxiety. Outside, Takedo is super impressed with the smooth talk, asking what the guy's power is. Sauda explains it is one of the scariest abilities around, called Nightmare. Takedo just repeats the name, clearly not grasping the horror yet. It is a power that traps you in a dream world just by making eye contact, and any damage you take while you are in there gets reflected right back onto your real body, so yeah, do not mess with him. Takedo's mind is blown, thinking the ability sounds completely invincible, but Sauda reveals it has one massive, exploitable flaw. This user has to make direct eye contact to trigger it, a staring contest from hell. Sauda explains the power's big catch: it can totally backfire on the user. Takedo gets it, realizing it is a high-risk, high-reward kind of deal. Just then his phone starts buzzing and he quickly answers the call. His face absolutely lights up with some seriously good news. Turns out their secret base is ready, way ahead of schedule. At that exact moment, Zhu Fei steps out of the welfare center. He approaches them, having clearly made up his mind about their offer. With a heavy heart, he agrees to join their team to protect the children. Sauda offers a hand, promising to uphold his end of the bargain. And with a handshake, the team officially gets its third powerhouse member. This new guy immediately asks the most awkward question: what is the team name? Sauda strikes a pose, clearly trying to pull a cool name out of thin air. He lands on Foreseer, which is a choice, I guess, so they all pack up and hit the road, heading for the mountains. Takedo's driving while Sauda just chills in the passenger seat looking smug. In the back, Zhu Fei is managing a truck bed full of kids, a true nightmare scenario. He patiently reassures them they are almost at their new home. Their truck kicks up dust as it finally pulls to a stop, and Zhu Fei announces to the excited kids that they have arrived. Their new secret base is a freaking palace with a massive fountain. Takedo's eyes are literally stars. This base is beyond his wildest dreams. All the kids from the center are having the time of their lives, finally safe. They are met at the entrance by a man who seems to be the caretaker, and this guy is sweating buckets, looking like he is about to face a firing squad. Takedo gives his second uncle a big thumbs up for pulling this off, then immediately starts whispering warnings about Sauda, the not-so-good captain. He even tries to play it off, asking his uncle why he is so worn out, real subtle. Sauda just eyes the nervous wreck of a man, clearly sensing something is off. Suddenly, his voice cuts through the air, ordering everyone to stop dead in their tracks. Zhu Fei holds the kids back, confused about the sudden alarm. Even Takedo is clueless, asking his friend what the big emergency is. This pressure is on as Takedo demands his uncle explain what is going on. With a full-on breakdown, the uncle hits the deck, swearing he was forced into something. Sauda wastes no time, summoning a shield and preparing for an attack. From inside the mansion, a presence makes itself known. This massive front doors creak open, revealing an unexpected guest. Both Sauda and Takedo are completely caught off guard by who they see. A pair of stylish boots steps out onto the porch, and it is Mewtwo waving like she owns the place and asking if they are surprised. She casually mentions how hard it was to track them down, while the uncle begs her not to give him a heart attack next time. Mewtwo immediately roasts Sauda for being a mercenary leader who still gets spooked. Takedo just admits he almost shot her, looking totally embarrassed. Her attention then snaps to Zhu Fei, asking if he is the new guy, so Sauda makes the formal introductions between the two powerhouses. She is pretty pleased, noting their little group is now 4 members strong. Then she grabs Sauda and tells everyone to come inside to talk business. Both Takedo and our boy are completely lost, having no clue what is happening. Meanwhile, Zhu Fei is on full-time dad duty trying to wrangle the kids in the giant hall. Mewtwo offers Sauda a grand tour of their new operating room, and it is a full-blown high-tech command center that leaves Takedo stunned. She casually reveals she funded the whole thing, calling it a loan they will have to repay. Sauda just stares, demanding to know what her real angle is here. Turns out she is sick of her family's rules and has decided to join them. She even promises to be their personal ATM for all future expenses and ammo. Takedo is immediately sold, telling Sauda to let her join because who says no to a sponsor? Our boy weighs the pros. She is powerful and has access to endless resources. Still, he is hesitant, knowing her sensitive status could bring major trouble. Takedo practically begs him, asking what there is to even think about. Mewtwo just watches, her gaze sharp and waiting for his final decision. Breaking the silence, she just decides for him, taking his quietness as a yes. Mewtwo makes her pitch to join, while Takedo begs Sauda to just agree already. A slow, knowing smirk spreads across our boy's face. The deal is done. He officially welcomes her to the Foreseer mercenary group. She immediately roasts the name, expecting something a little more intimidating. Sauda's confidence just shatters, wondering if his cool name is actually a total cliché. Changing the subject, Mewtwo leads them away, promising a huge surprise. Inside, they find Zhu Fei completely swamped by the horde of excited kids. He's just laughing it off, clearly happy but also a little out of his depth. Taking charge instantly, Mewtwo volunteers to hire proper staff to care for them. Zhu Fei is overcome with gratitude, thanking her for the incredible kindness. Then she just promotes herself to vice captain, because of course she does. In a quiet moment, she takes one of the children gently by the hand. As she leads the kids off, the guys are left watching, feeling the weight of their new home. Sauda, however, is just baffled by his 2 emotional teammates, totally missing the vibe. Now it is time for the big reveal as she brings them to a massive sealed door. Turning back, she asks if they are ready for what is on the other side. She admits time was tight for a proper system, pulling out a cheap-looking remote. With a casual "do not worry about it," her thumb hovers over the big red button. This doors hiss open, bathing the room in a blindingly bright light, and all 3 of them are left completely speechless by what is inside. Inside is a montage of their new digs, a training facility with an MMA cage and a shooting range. This whole place is a massive, high-tech arena built for one purpose: making killers. Takedo cannot believe his eyes, asking if this is really their new training ground. Sauda points out some gear on display, wanting to know what it is. Takedo immediately recognizes them as advanced exoskeletons. Mewtwo explains they are military-grade suits that let normal soldiers fight ability users. She even promises they will get the next-gen model first, flexing her connections. This is enough for Takedo to literally bow down in worship to their new sponsor. But she admits even she cannot get her hands on the top-secret ability inhibitors. Sauda's mind is already racing, thinking about how to counter such a weapon, though he scoffs internally, knowing it'll be a pea shooter against future threats. Meanwhile, Takedo's attention is caught by a shiny console across the room. Mewtwo screams at him not to touch anything, but it is way too late for that. His hand slams down on a button before anyone can stop him. For a second, he just looks around, completely clueless about what he has just done. Then a simulated laser blast nearly vaporizes his head. Another shot ricochets near Zhu Fei, who was just minding his own business. Takedo is absolutely freaking out, yelling that he almost died. Mewtwo calmly explains it is just a reflex trainer, you absolute moron, and Zhu Fei stands there, wondering if it is too late to quit the circus. Mewtwo casually offers to hire a professional instructor for the team. Sauda immediately asks if she is talking about the legendary Aunt Bai. She scoffs, revealing this guy actually trained Aunt Bai and her entire family. Our boy gets nervous, worried about the complications of bringing in someone so connected. Mewtwo reassures him, saying it is just her retired godfather, totally trustworthy. With that settled, Sauda agrees and she promises to get him over. Later, the team is just chilling in their brand new training facility. Mewtwo then drops the bomb that their new coach arrives tomorrow for some hellish training. Takedo's face absolutely drains of color at that particular phrase, and he proceeds to have a full-on on-his-knees meltdown peak drama. This next day, their legendary trainer finally makes his grand entrance. It is an old man in a wheelchair named Mu Renzin, looking pretty busted up. This guys immediately start whispering, not convinced this broken old dude can train them. Mukyu runs over, asking her godfather what on earth happened to him. He explains he got caught fishing by his wife and accidentally rolled into a ditch. This absolute unit then claims he only needs one arm and one leg to train them. Takedo and the others call him out for being arrogant, reminding him they are not normal humans. But Mukyu backs him up, confirming one limb of each is more than enough to handle them. Takedo, brimming with unearned confidence, says he does not believe it for a second. This old man just smirks, ready to teach these cocky kids a painful lesson. This old man challenges Takedo, telling him to come get some training. Takedo scoffs, flexing that his physical stats are way beyond normal. Murenzin just sits there, literally begging him to take a swing. So Takedo winds up a punch, channeling some serious energy, only to poke the old man's arm like a little kid. What a troll. This trainer is absolutely livid, demanding a real hit while Mukyu just laughs it off. With a final smirk, Takedo asks if he is sure getting the green light. He unleashes a full power punch, shouting a last-second warning, which the old man stops dead with one hand, completely unimpressed. Next thing you know, Takedo's on the floor whining about an ambush. Murenzin just calls his speed pathetic total ownage. Seeing his chance, Sauda steps up with a smirk, ready for his turn. He politely informs the trainer he will start at 10% power so he does not accidentally hurt him. Our boy powers up, his fist glowing with that signature blue aura, but the old man stops the punch with just two fingers. Sauda is just frozen, staring at his hand in total disbelief. This trainer just eggs him on, telling him to try harder. So Sauda cranks it up to 30%, getting serious now, and his punch gets casually swatted aside like a fly. This kid is left completely speechless, the reality of this guy's power finally sinking in. This old man sarcastically compliments Sauda's tough bones after that pathetic display. From the floor, Takedo yells at him to stop holding back because this guy is no joke. Announcing his next punch's full force, our boy powers up his glowing fist. Murenzin just gives a grim "bring it," looking ready for the real thing. So Sauda lunges forward, putting everything into one massive energized strike. And the trainer's eyes narrow, his focus absolute in the face of the attack. But instead of a block, he just taps a pressure point on Sauda's wrist, then hits another spot on his arm with pinpoint precision, which completely neutralizes the punch and sends our boy stumbling back. He lands clutching his arm, which has gone completely numb. Sauda's mind is just reeling, wondering if this trainer is even a normal person. Then we get a chibi panel of him whining about his hand, so much for intimidating. This old man joins the pity party, pretending his own hand is killing him. What a troll. With his pride shattered, Sauda just asks what kind of technique that was. Internally, the trainer is actually impressed the kid recovered so fast. Sauda is officially convinced, admitting the old man is incredible. Mukyu smugly says, "I told you so," starting to brag about her grandpa's past. Her grandpa immediately cuts her off with a loud cough, shutting that down quick. Now Takedo is a full-on convert, begging to be taught the same move. Murenzin just smirks, revealing it is his unique skill and they will be lucky to learn the basics. He explains his technique is all about hitting pressure points to shut down opponents fast. Mastering it, he says, is their only real shot at surviving what is coming. Sauda, now a total fanboy, respectfully asks the grandpa to teach them. This whole team bows in unison, officially ready to get their butts kicked. But the old man warns them this special training is going to be pure hell. With a terrifying look, he announces it is time to begin. Suddenly, the training cage lights up, signaling the start of the pain. All four of them immediately rush him at once in a coordinated assault. Murenzin just smirks, completely unimpressed by their little charge. Mukyu lunges in first, only to have her attack stopped with one hand. Sauda follows up with a heavy punch, trying to capitalize on the opening, and his fist gets blocked like it is nothing, not even a flinch from the old man. This guy is just juggling all three of them from his wheelchair. It is not even a fight. Even a kick from Sauda is caught without the trainer breaking a sweat. His hand moves like lightning, a blur of precision strikes, which connects with Sauda's gut, knocking the wind right out of him. This wheelchair becomes a weapon, zipping around the arena at impossible speeds. After that brutal lesson, he calmly calls an end to the day's training. Everyone is just floored, literally, except Sauda, who is already thinking about food. Lying there, Mukyu reminds him she is vice-captain before asking Zhufei the same question. Zhufei is on the verge of puking, but his priorities are straight. What is for dinner? Sauda, equally wrecked, suggests the dinner of champions, instant noodles. Their trainer, however, is secretly impressed, admitting the kids have some real talent. He even singles out Takedo as a prodigy, a slightly slow one judging by his code face. Suddenly, a phone starts buzzing in Sauda's pocket. Our boy, still completely floored, manages to take the call. This whole team is just a pile of bodies on the floor when Mukyu asks who it is. Getting to his feet, Sauda drops the news. It is time for their first official mission. Takedo is suddenly full of energy, hyping up Sauda for landing them a job. Their trainer wheels off, giving them a final warning before ditching them to go eat. Though once he is out of earshot, he is whining about how ruthless asterisk they were, the absolute nerve. Now sitting in a circle, the team presses Sauda for the mission details. Sauda reveals their client is a guy named Chi Ji-yuan. This team is shocked, with Mukyu pointing out he is the big boss of the 6th district. Her mind immediately goes to the worst-case scenario. If he needs mercs, this job is bad news. Our boy admits he is short on details, but says they need to meet the client at HQ. With that, Sauda gives the order to move out. Their destination is the massive 6th district headquarters building. Inside, the whole team sits in tense silence, looking like they are at a job interview from hell. A man with white hair formally begs for their help, putting the honor of his entire district on the line. Mewtwo immediately loses her mind, demanding to know if this client is for real. This guy explains his district got wrecked by a merc group called the 12 Constellations. Sauda, ever the professional, agrees to the job but adds one little condition. He tells the district head he wants to take the captured members of that enemy group. Chi Jiun pushes back, offering him just one of the prisoners instead. This client then gives a smug look, revealing he knows Sauda's only after one specific person. Our boy is impressed, realizing this guy knows he is hunting someone called the Foreseer. With the deal struck, Sauda tells him to take them to her now. Suddenly, the whole room is in a panic, rushing to get out the door. Turns out a guy called the Black Panther is interrogating their target at this very moment. Elsewhere, a squad of soldiers marches down a sterile corridor. Their leader, a scarred man with a cigarette, asks for a status report on the prisoners. His men admit they have got nothing. The captives are too well trained to break. Annoyed, the captain grinds out his cigarette under his boot. He decides he is done waiting and will interrogate them himself. This door to a dark holding cell slides open with a hiss. Inside, three prisoners look up as the shadows of their new visitors fall over them. One of the captives is already banging on the barrier, demanding a fair fight like a child. This Black Panther just lights another smoke, completely unimpressed with the tantrum, and the prisoner just keeps hammering away, screaming at a guy who clearly does not care. This Black Panther just sighs, blowing a smoke ring of pure annoyance. He tells his men to open the door and let the loudmouth out. A guard hits the switch and the energy barrier drops for the prisoners. Instantly, the long-haired captive charges forward, screaming bloody murder. But this captain does not even flinch, his eyes just narrow. Instead, he whips out a handgun with inhuman speed and stops the guy's charge cold with a barrel to the forehead. Black Panther mockingly asks why he has suddenly gone so quiet. This prisoner calls him a coward for using a gun, demanding a real fight. For his trouble, he gets his legs swept right out from under him. With a boot on his head, the captain points out he never agreed to not use a gun. He grinds his heel in, earning a string of well-deserved insults. Admitting he is a scoundrel, he gives the guy 3 seconds to talk. This countdown begins and the panic is very, very real. When time runs out, he gives a final, chilling introduction. His finger squeezes the trigger, ready to end it right there, until a shout to stop makes him pause, clearly annoyed by the interruption. It is Sauda's crew and Black Panther just calls the whole thing boring. He complains to the district head for always ruining his fun. Tossing his cigarette, he whines that these interruptions are bad for his reputation. Black Panther calls the whole interruption disgusting, just oozing professionalism, and then the Foreseer herself waltzes in, casually calling Sauda little brother. This captain notes how much their little group has grown since they last met. He then asks Mewtwo if her old man even approves of her new friends. With a smug wink, she confirms her grandpa is totally on board with all of it. Black Panther warns her to be careful since he'd be in trouble if the Mew family heir got hurt. He then asks her to say hi to her master for him, and Mewtwo drops the ultimate burn, revealing this guy was her grandpa's worst student. That one hits him right in the ego, sending him stumbling away in shame. Finally getting a word in, Sauda tells the Foreseer to come on out. She steps forward, making a very dramatic entrance in those heels. Approaching our boy, she calls him her good little brother. She gets way too close, thanking him for not leaving his big sister to die. Sauda is just a blushing, flustered mess, so much for the tough mercenary act. Mewtwo immediately steps in, telling the woman to back off and keep her hands to herself. This just amuses the Foreseer, who teases him about having a new girlfriend. Both of them absolutely lose it, with Sauda yelling she is a teammate and Mewtwo screaming she is his vice-captain. This Foreseer just laughs, trying to calm down the world's most awkward couple. Waving goodbye, she takes a parting shot at the dear captain and the gorilla. And yeah, the gorilla comment did not land well with the rest of the team. Back in the conference room, the newly expanded team gets down to business. Mewtwo immediately asks Sauda if he is really okay with the Foreseer joining them. While the Foreseer argues she is a huge asset, Mewtwo is clearly not buying it. She leans in, asking if this woman can be trusted, but Sauda says he trusts her completely. And her only conclusion is that our boy is just blinded by her looks, a classic tactical error. Their client then lays out the plan. Zone 1's people arrive tomorrow, so they should rest up. With a deadly serious look, he tells them the district is counting on them. Sauda, cool as ever, promises they will do their best. Satisfied, Chi Jiun excuses himself, leaving the mercs to it. The second he is gone, the Foreseer is all over Sauda, asking for mission details while Mewtwo just fumes. Sauda explains they are representing Zone 6 in a competition against ability users from Zone 1. This raises some good questions, like why they are competing and where Zone 6's own fighters are. He has to sheepishly admit that Zone 6's team is just really, really bad. Apparently, this whole tournament is a peaceful way to decide who gets the next abyss. Getting straight to the point, the Foreseer asks what the payout is. Sauda details the reward, half the abyssal stones plus some operational freedom. But our boy knows something they do not. This abyss has 6 seeds, making the stones the real jackpot. Hearing this, the Foreseer is suddenly his biggest fan, absolutely gushing over the captain. Not to be outdone, Mewtwo chimes in with her own sparkly-eyed praise. Sauda just soaks it all in while his 2 biggest admirers glare daggers at each other. Sauda rallies the newly named Foreseer mercenary group for their first big battle. This whole team is fired up, ready to make a scene. Meanwhile, their opponents from Zone 1 arrive, looking like an idle group for angry soldiers. Their leader, a guy named Long Tao, is already trashing the place, so professional. Chi Ji-yun steps out to greet his old rival with a handshake, but Long Tao is all business, declaring Zone 1 will be taking the next abyss. He then calls Sauda's team a bunch of rejects and tells Chi Ji-yun to just give up now. Chi Ji-yun reminds him he has been losing for 10 years straight. Long Tao claims that was only because he was fighting alone against Chi Ji-yun and Black Panther. Now he is an ability user, sneering that he has completely surpassed the ordinary district head. With a smile that is pure poison, Chi Ji-yun just wishes him the best of luck. Sauda watches from the sidelines, completely unimpressed by the strongest ability user's boast. Long Tao lays out the rules: 5-on-5 elimination, first to 3 wins. And Chi Ji-yun agrees with a smirk that says he's got this in the bag. He leads the way, telling everyone to follow him to the arena. Both teams face off in the massive underground training grounds. Chi Ji-yun casually hands out a cheat sheet with the enemy's abilities. Our boy is definitely impressed by this level of prep work. This district head just drops some classic Sun Tzu wisdom: know your enemy. Across the way, one of the Zone 1 fighters gets impatient, asking who is up first. Sauda picks Chu Fei for the first round, who seems just a little bit terrified. Our boy gives him a quick pep talk, saying his nightmare ability is the perfect counter. With the no-kill rule established, the first match officially begins. Zone 1's fighter immediately activates his illusion power, eyes glowing with confidence. Chu Fei is instantly hit, looking like he has seen the world's scariest ghost. This enemy leader smirks, explaining that eye contact means it is already over. But his teammate points out that something seems very, very wrong. Turns out the illusionist is the one having a total meltdown. He drops to his knees, screaming in absolute agony from a mental attack. This tough guy is now begging for his life, completely broken by whatever he is seeing. Reflected in his eye is a horrifying, fiery demon. And yeah, he is trapped in a personal hell with a whole pack of them. This nightmare creatures start tearing into him, at least inside his head. He is thrown across the arena floor by the sheer force of the illusion, and just keeps screaming, having the worst day of his entire life. Suddenly it is over, with Chu Fei casually declaring it an easy win. This Zone 1 leader is furious, accusing Chi Ji-yun of being despicable for doing basic research. Chi Ji-yun just roasts him, saying it is from a military tactics class the guy clearly failed. Fuming, the rival captain sends in his next fighter, a much bigger dude. Meanwhile, Chi Ji-yun gives Chu Fei a well-deserved thumbs up for a job well done. Chi Ji-yun just smirks, impressed by his own genius for picking the right counter. Zone 1's next fighter steps up, a dude named Wang Tianlei who looks built to stop a truck. But Sauda's spiky-haired brawler Chang Ting is not backing down. He points right at the new guy, calling him out for the second round. Long Tao is practically drooling, convinced his guy is the perfect counter for physical types. This match begins with Wang Tianlei giving a totally condescending "be careful." Chang Ting throws one punch and his opponent just drops, looking pathetic. His teammate is already celebrating the world's fastest knockout. But the two district heads just stare each other down, knowing the real fight is just beginning. And just like that, Wang Tianlei is back up, dodging every single follow-up attack. Chang Ting launches a brutal kick, aiming to end this for real. It lands square in the gut with a massive impact, sending the guy flying across the arena floor. But he lands perfectly, not a scratch on him, and starts glowing with a red aura. Chang Ting is completely baffled, wondering why his attacks feel so weak. He tries again, unleashing a flurry of desperate punches, which Wang Tianlei blocks with one hand without even breaking a sweat. Now Chang Ting is sweating buckets while his team yells at him to finish the fight. This blonde teammate notes that the enemy seems to be getting stronger, but Sauda corrects him with a chilling realization: it is Chang Ting who is getting weaker. From the sidelines, Sauda watches Wang Tianlei just grab his brawler by the fist. This guy powers up with a blue aura, gloating that it is finally his turn to fight back. He lunges forward with a supercharged punch. Chang Ting barely manages to block the blow, already looking worn down. A desperate kick is thrown in response. But his opponent just weaves around every single attack like it is nothing. Wang Tianlei taunts him, asking where all that big talk went, and then lands a brutal gut punch that stops Chang Ting cold. This brawler realizes his strength is being stolen with every single touch. Back on the bench, the team figures out this is a power-draining ability, a terrible matchup. Sauda, ever the pragmatist, just tells his teammate to forfeit. Of course, the enemy team's resident jerk has to rub it in. Wang Tianlei explains his power. He steals half of Chang Ting's strength with every hit. With a smug grin, he declares the match is already over. Even his own team is yelling at Chang Ting to just give up. Looking completely drained, Chang Ting calls the guy his nemesis. But then he pulls out a glowing weapon, vowing to win anyway. His opponent just scoffs, doubting he can even land a hit now. Chang Ting's eyes start glowing, revealing his sword has a passive that will turn the tables. Unfazed, Wang Tianlei just tells him to bring it on, oozing condescension. Chang Ting goes all in, slashing with his glowing blade. His opponent gets knocked back but seems to have blocked the worst of it. With his sword at the ready, Chang Ting lectures the guy on underestimating people. Wang Tianlei just brushes off the wound, reminding him he just got touched again. From the enemy bench, a red-haired woman sighs at his tactical genius. This same woman then turns to Sauda's team, asking why they look so chill. Sauda's blonde teammate just smirks, saying the fight is already over. Long Tao sneers, guessing the big secret is a poisoned blade. How original. As the poison spreads, his teammate yells at Wang Tianlei to just finish it, but the big guy boasts his energy can just purge the toxins anyway. He then starts wailing on Chang Ting, who is clearly losing steam fast. Wang Tianlei mocks him, saying he is fighting a toddler at this point. He winds up for the final blow, absolutely sure of his victory, and that is when Chang Ting grins, seeing his opening. He uses a slick joint lock to redirect the punch, stunning his opponent. Suddenly, Chang Ting is a blur of motion, dodging and weaving. Wang Tianlei is impressed but says the fancy moves are useless without any strength. His teammates are already celebrating, sure that one more hit will end it. But their captain Long Tao suddenly realizes something is very wrong. He cannot explain it, but a strange feeling has been nagging him this whole time. Long Tao's eye twitches, finally sensing the trap. On the field, Wang Tianlei suddenly looks woozy, his power flickering out. Then a single drop of blood hits the floor, followed by more. His captain is screaming at him to just end it with one punch, no questions asked. So the big guy lunges forward, putting everything into one last desperate attack. But Chang Ting does not even flinch as the punch flies toward his face. Instead, he just smirks, dropping the classic "you have already lost" line. And just like that, Wang Tianlei collapses, completely drained and confused. He is panicking, wondering what the hell is happening to his body. Back on the bench, Long Tao's team cannot believe it. His energy should have purged any poison. Long Tao corrects them with a grim look. It is not poison, it is massive blood loss. Chang Ting stands over his opponent, casually asking if they even have a healer on staff. Turns out they do, as their medic rushes in to patch up the very leaky fighter. Wang Tianlei grits his teeth through the healing, looking totally humiliated. He apologizes to his captain for being careless and losing the match. But Long Tao is just silently fuming, probably planning a very unpleasant post-match debrief. A new fighter from Zone 1 steps up, a woman with purple hair, ready for round 3. She rips off her jacket because why not add a little drama to the proceedings? With a wild grin, she reminds everyone they can still win this thing. Over on Sauda's side, the blonde guy just points out the obvious: she looks strong. This blonde guy has a cute flashback with his two sisters, one of whom is apparently easily spooked. Meanwhile, Sauda gets the intel on the new fighter, Xiao Ying, and blushes for some reason. His professional face is back on a second later, admitting this next match is gonna be rough. But the blonde dude is all confidence, sure that his girls Mew Q and Sister Scorpion can handle her. Sauda's not so sure, realizing her projection ability is a whole other level of dangerous. An explainer shows she can literally create objects from her imagination, the ultimate cheat code. And judging by her physique, she is in prime condition to imagine some very bad things for them. Her opponent is already sweating, wondering if she can, just create a missile. Sauda just deadpans the horrible truth: oh yeah, she absolutely can. In fact, he recalls a story where someone with this power projected a nuke and wiped out a city, so that is fun. Back in the arena, Xiao Ying is tired of waiting, telling them to fight or forfeit already. This blonde guy, bless his heart, steps up to take her on himself. But suddenly, Chi Jiyuan is interrupted by one of his men with an urgent message. A quick, secretive whisper completely changes the situation. Chi Jiyuan immediately marches over to Long Tao, demanding to know what he has done. He then announces the entire competition is over right now. Turns out a VIP from the higher-ups has intervened and is claiming the prize for themselves. Long Tao throws a full-on temper tantrum, promising to personally deal with this idiot. Sauda's team just stands there, wondering if they just got screwed out of a win. And Mewq asks the big question on everyone's mind: who the hell is this VIP? Chi Jiyuan explains the mess: this is not just one VIP, it is an international deal. Mewq immediately gets it. The Abyss is the bargaining chip for this whole shady alliance. This whole team just stands there, completely silent and blindsided by the news. Trying to smooth things over, Chi Jiyuan offers compensation and a weak warning not to cause trouble. With the competition officially dead, Long Tao's crew just walks off, leaving them behind. Sauda, however, is already thinking, a little smirk suggesting he is not done yet. Later that night, back at the 6th District Inspection Team headquarters. This crew is debriefing, with the blonde guy stating the obvious: they are in for a tough fight. But Sauda is fired up, declaring they absolutely have to secure that abyss. Just then, a loud knock echoes from the door. This blonde teammate opens it to find a new guy, looking totally surprised to see him, and right behind him is a woman with purple hair and a very serious expression. She barges in, announcing she is joining their next raid and calling dibs on all spirit stones. This team is baffled, pointing out she is supposed to be with the 1st District. Mewq just smirks, telling her she has clearly misunderstood their situation. Sauda plays along, claiming the 6th District is just going to follow orders and sit this one out. But the new woman calls their bluff, saying she is not really from the 1st District either. This little twist leaves Sauda's crew completely stunned and speechless. She reminds him that his own intel briefing called her a temporary hire. Turns out she and Xiao Ying are just mercenaries temporarily working for Long Tao. This mercenary explains her predicament. With the government predicting abyss locations, freelancers are getting screwed. She tells Sauda his team is way too small for this mission, lacking both a healer and her special skills. With a confident smile, she extends a hand, offering a formal partnership. Sauda weighs the options, knowing it is a good deal but smelling a potential trap a mile away. To sweeten the pot, she offers him a chip packed with all her intel. She drops it right into his hand, promising to be around when the abyss opens. Then with a casual wave, she leaves the reasonable decision entirely up to him. As they walk off, Xiao Ying wonders if the plan will even work. Her partner just smirks, totally sure they will make the right choice. Later that night, a military unit is on high alert outside a secured facility. Their commander barks orders that absolutely nothing gets past them, and a squad of 4 soldiers snaps to attention with a crisp salute. Oh wait, it is just Sauda's crew in disguise, blending in perfectly. Turns out he took the deal and the mercenary winks at him from the ranks. This intel she provided was not just on enemy fighters. It was a full-blown military map with patrol routes and everything. This let them slip right past security during a shift change, easy peasy. Inside, some rich-looking guy points to a glowing sigil, asking if that is where the monsters pop out. His little suit-wearing yes-man tells the young master to just sit back and relax. Apparently, a bunch of hired guns will kill the monsters, letting this kid absorb all their powers. This young master wants the monsters weakened, not killed. He is saving the glory for himself. For daring to suggest caution, his bodyguard gets a vicious backhand and a lecture on being a good dog. This guy just takes it, meekly promising to obey his master's brilliant plan. With his authority established, the little brat smirks, ready for the show to start. Right on cue, a massive red portal tears open the sky as the countdown hits 0. Our little sociopath is just giddy with excitement, absolutely thrilled by the spectacle. From the depths, a monstrous silhouette begins to emerge. And it is not alone, a whole swarm of nightmares follows right behind it. This lead merc starts sweating, realizing there are 6 abyss seeds in play. He quickly rallies the team, yelling at them to stick to the formation. 3 of the fighters immediately activate glowing magic circles on the ground, trapping the incoming monsters in a massive hexagonal energy field. With a single finger, the leader signals the first wave of attacks, and the whole team unleashes a coordinated elemental barrage. One of the beasts takes a massive fireball right to its ugly face. Elsewhere, a lone warrior faces down a hulking, electrified monster. This young master is just loving the carnage, cheering them on like it is a video game. Just as the leader calls for the second wave, another merc with some serious guns steps up. And by guns, I mean his arms are literally giant energy cannons. He powers them up, pink energy swirling as he takes aim for a big finish. This cannonar merc unleashes a massive volley, which just tears right through the monster horde. But the merc leader is still screaming for the third wave, so his team unleashes another elemental light show. One guy launching a golden energy burst, absolutely hammering the trapped creatures. Outside, Sauda's crew just watches the fireworks. This mercenary girl wondering if it is time to move in, but Sauda tells them to hold off, this will not be easy. And he is right, because inside, the mercs are getting worn down, their leader looking completely stunned by what he sees. A massive armored beast just walks through the smoke totally fine, which sends the young master into a full-blown hissy fit demanding results. As the monster roars, the mercs are frozen in terror. Then it unleashes a sonic scream that cripples the entire team. Even the little brat is on the floor screaming about his ears, oh, the irony. Blood starts trickling from his ear, which is definitely not part of the plan, leaving all the hired guns completely disoriented and vulnerable. While their leader desperately screams for a healer, and a support member rushes in trying to get the control formation back online. This sonic blast leaves the mercs completely stunned on the floor, just in time for a giant monster to offer them a very personal dental exam. Our young master, meanwhile, is having a complete and total meltdown, crying his little eyes out now that the fun part is over. And in a shocking turn of events, he is peed himself and no longer wants to be a hero. One of the mercs sees a claw descending and wisely screams for a retreat, but it is too late as a monster unleashes a devastating energy beam, sending one of the fighters flying through the air. All over the room, the hired guns are getting picked off one by one, facing a whole zoo of nightmares they were not paid enough to handle. A claw closes in on the blubbering young master, who is now begging the monsters to spare his precious life. His loyal bodyguard lies defeated nearby as the whole situation collapses, so the brat points at him, offering his man up as a snack instead, a true leader. He then generously includes the rest of his team in the buffet invitation, and the monsters are more than happy to accept his terms. Outside, the mercenary girl notes how quiet it has gotten, thinking they might have won. But Sauda knows better, guessing the mercs are the ones who have been dealt with. Their actual commander is also getting suspicious about the sudden silence, and he orders his unit to move in and investigate right where Sauda's crew is hiding. This commander's unit finally moves in to investigate the silence, and his eyes go wide with pure undiluted horror. His entire squad just stops dead in their tracks, completely stunned, because the inside is an absolute graveyard of fallen mercenaries. This only one left is the young master, cackling about how everyone's dead. He is handling it well. This commander starts yelling, demanding to know where the monsters went, but Sauda's already shouting for Mewq to make an ice wall now, instantly encasing their whole team in a massive crystal fortress, just as a monster claw smashes right against the barrier. All the regular soldiers are now screaming their heads off, yelling to run. Their professional military discipline evaporating in about 2 seconds flat, while Sauda's crew stands protected, surrounded by a menagerie of horrors. Sauda calmly notes the monsters wiped out the mercs without a single scratch, and our mercenary partner just calls them a useless bunch, ice cold. Her partner reassures Xiao Ying, promising to protect her. As the blonde teammate asks Sauda for the call, do they fight or retreat? Another guy points out they cannot just abandon the abyss seeds. And Sauda just smirks, drawing his glowing blade. I think that is a yes. With a single command to annihilate them all, the whole team powers up, stepping forward together to start the real fight. And of course, another team of hunters shows up to watch the show. This girl in their crew confirms their leader's guess was right. He just smirks, saying only a moron would have charged in to die like that last group. His teammate confidently agrees they can annihilate everyone else. So their genius plan is to let the two sides wear each other down first, then swoop in to claim the prize. Total vultures. Back in the fight, Mewtwo charges up a massive water attack, unleashing a spinning vortex of pure elemental energy, while the mercenary partner casts a strange green field, which seems to trap and weaken a whole pack of monsters. Xiaoying immediately follows up, unloading with her guns, but a one-eyed beast just roars, ready to counter them all. Sauda shouts for Mewtwo to take out the most dangerous one first, and the mercenary girl they hired launches a swirling fire whip, slamming it right into the Cyclops monster's face. With an opening finally made, Sauda blitzes forward in a flash, bringing his blade down in a devastating, pixelated strike, but another tusked monster just roars, ready for its turn, getting caught in a coordinated pincer of fire and ice. Still, a huge armored beast just stands there, completely unfazed by the chaos. With the battlefield still smoking, Sauda's crew squares up against the remaining beasts. Sauda notes these things are smart, they are not just charging in blindly anymore. He gives the simple order to watch their backs, and the mercenary partner starts weaving some seriously wicked green energy, unleashing a massive, complex spell that dwarfs everything around him, which leaves the blonde teammate absolutely sweating bullets. Even Xiao Ying looks on as razor-sharp energy fills the air, slicing right into one of the armored monsters. This spell forms a giant energy prism, trapping the creature inside before it just detonates in a massive explosion. From the sidelines, our Vulture team leader is actually impressed by the light show. His partner asks if it is finally their turn to jump in, but he is still playing the long game, telling her to wait, let them get tired first. Back on the field, Mewtwo is breathing hard, clearly spent from her last attack. Her power has the rest of the team thinking she is not one to mess with. This blonde guy looks at the clearing smoke, hoping it is all over. But of course it is not. The toughest monsters are still standing. Seeing his chance, Sauda screams for an all-out assault, and Xiao Ying immediately lights up a monster with a full clip, while Sauda himself dives in, a blur of motion and slashing energy. One of the crew slices through the last of the small fry. And the blonde guy immediately starts celebrating, a bit premature buddy, but the monster corpses start glowing with some seriously bad vibes, prompting another teammate to scream for everyone to keep fighting, which completely shatters the team's 1 second of victory. All that dark energy starts pulling together into a new, awful shape, forming a massive shadowy beast that just towers over them, and it just keeps growing into a multi-headed nightmare. This thing unleashes a collective roar from its many, many mouths. So one of the guys tries to punch it, A for effort, F for strategy. He gets swatted away like a fly for his troubles, forcing another teammate to open up with a double-barreled shotgun, landing a full spread right in the monster's face. This monster's reaction is basically just a question mark. It felt nothing. Then it unleashes a sonic scream of its own, crippling the team just like the last big one did. And a massive tentacle comes crashing down toward Xiao Ying, but Mewtwo jumps in, throwing up a last-second ice wall, which barely manages to block the devastating strike, leaving the team trapped but safe behind the ice for now. Behind the ice, Mewtwo stands her ground as the monster's roar cracks her wall, giving it everything she has to keep the barrier from collapsing. But the whole thing just shatters into a million pieces, letting the monster's shadowy tentacles smash right through. Their only defense is completely gone in an instant, and Mewtwo screams that she is at her limit. They need a plan now. This mercenary partner steps up, saying he will handle it, but his green energy does nothing, and another merc suggests retreating. Sauda asks Mewtwo for one more big spell, but she is totally spent, so a different teammate volunteers for a last-ditch attack to cover their escape. She unleashes a massive blast of energy, putting everything on the line. But the monster just roars, winding up for a counterpunch, bringing a massive fist down on the whole team. This impact sends one of the fighters flying across the room, as tentacles erupt from the beast, lashing out at everyone. This whole squad gets absolutely thrashed, tossed around like dolls, leaving the monster to just grin with all of its horrible faces. Defeated, the red-haired merc thinks it is all over, blaming herself for being useless, while another teammate just stares up at a descending foot, totally doomed, and the monster prepares to deliver the final, crushing blow. This monster's fist comes down, and the soldier below has a moment to wonder why he is first. But a flash of blue energy intercepts the punch just in time, and it is Chang Ting telling the guy he saved to stay back and leave it to him. His pink-haired teammate immediately screams for a retreat, saying this thing is way too strong. But Chang Ting's not backing down, confident he can take the monster for the Abyss Seed. This monster just roars back, winding up a glowing purple haymaker of its own. From the sidelines, the Vulture team is still spectating, impressed by the new guy's toughness. Their leader asks the girl Jai for a status report on what she is seeing. Realizing his brilliant, waited-out plan might fail, he decides they have to move in now. Chang Ting is now in a high-speed dance, dodging a massive bladed tentacle, weaving through a whole storm of shadowy attacks with his own glowing aura. His whole strategy is to be faster, thinking he can wear the beast down over time. Putting that plan into action, he zips past its defenses to get in close, and lands a clean, glowing strike right across the monster's ugly mug. But instead of staggering, the monster roars, trapping him in a red energy vortex. which seems to be some kind of psychic assault, absolutely frying his brain. And while he is stunned, a massive blade arm comes down for the kill shot. He knows there is no dodging this one, he will have to take it head-on. Before the big one even lands, a smaller tendril whips out and cracks him on the head. But wait, the premature celebrator is back, reminding everyone he exists with a shotgun. This pink-haired teammate screams for Chang Ting to get clear, unleashing her own massive energy beam right at the beast. But a wall of fire erupts, intercepting her attack. The vultures have arrived. Caught in the elemental crossfire, the monster is absolutely incinerated, leaving Chang Ting completely spent from his own part of the battle. This vulture leader stands over the corpse, coolly announcing his crew's presence, and we get a quick flash of Chang Ting's solo rampage that cleared the field, which left a whole pile of shiny abyss stones on the ground. Back in the present, his team starts celebrating their hard-won victory, and Chang Ting is already thinking about which power-up he is gonna get. He even tells the first defeated team to stand down. "We will take it from here, guys." And that is when the Vulture Squad finally steps out of the shadows looking smug, prompting the pink-haired girl to recognize their leader, Majai. But he is not looking at her, he is waving at Q from the other team. Chang Ting is confused, so his teammate explains Majai is an old family acquaintance, and our boy puts it together instantly. They were waiting to steal the loot. This blonde teammate is ready to throw down, refusing to hand anything over, but Majai just smiles, saying the prize was always theirs and he will respect their choice to die. He points out the obvious: his team is fresh, theirs is exhausted, so this is a dumb fight. With a heavy sigh, Chang Ting prepares for round 2 because of course he does. Chang Ting just stares at his teammate, completely unfazed by the standoff. He then tells the Vulture Squad to take the Abyss Stones, they are all theirs, and follows it up with a gesture that says, "Kiss my ass, real classy dude." Majai's team is just completely baffled by this turn of events, because that is when 2 more of Chang Ting's allies finally show up looking for a fight. This new guy stepped forward, totally changing the power dynamic on the field, and one of them, Kai, immediately challenges the Vultures to bring it on. His partner quickly tells him to cool it, he has got this under control, as a massive golden summon appears right behind the smoker dude, who then proceeds to punch it into a million pieces just to show off. From the smoke, a third new guy appears, his eye glowing with purple energy. He fires off a volley of energy blasts right at the enemy team, which barely get blocked by their last-second defensive barrier. Using the Abyss Stones, this new leader opens up a swirling purple escape portal. He yells for his crew to get moving and jump through it now, giving the Vultures a smug little bye on his way out the door. And just like that, the portal snaps shut, leaving them in the dust. Standing in the empty room, Kai tells Jai she seriously miscalculated. This smoker adds that she got completely outplayed by their leader, Chi Jiyun, but Kai just lights a smoke with his thumb, saying the pupil has surpassed the master. Meanwhile, Kai from the Vulture Squad vows to one day defeat his teacher, Chi Jiyun, and elsewhere, Chang Ting's allies are just chilling, having made a clean getaway. Right on cue, their escape portal flares back to life, spitting out Chang Ting and the rest of the crew they just rescued. A new guy in a suit greets them. This must be the mastermind, Chi Jiyun. His partner gives a special shout-out to Q, who looks totally exhausted, which sends Chang Ting's teammates into a meltdown for being kept in the dark. But Chi Jiyun steps in, explaining he only gave Chang Ting hints, a masterclass in plausible deniability. This team is left completely speechless by this 5D chess nonsense. And in a quick cut, another fighter admits you will just never out-scheme the guy. Even Chang Ting silently vows to surpass the master planner someday. With business settled, Chi Jiyun turns to the mercs they saved to fulfill his end of the bargain, handing over a massive crystal as payment for their help. Now for the main event, divvying up the Abyss Stones from the boss monster, and all 6 of the shiny power-ups are laid out on the table. Chi Jiyun gives Chang Ting's team first pick of the loot. So naturally, our boy just slaps his hand down on all of them. His teammates are absolutely floored as he examines a glowing red one, leaving even the great strategist Chi Jiyun completely stunned. Chang Ting just grins, realizing the stones are a perfect match for his team's powers. Talk about a setup. Chi Jiyun is in disbelief, asking if the stones are really a perfect match, and his teammates finally connect the dots. The loot was practically custom-made for them. With a triumphant "yeah," Chang Ting confirms it and the whole squad goes wild, leaving Chi Jiyun and his partner just staring in stunned, tactical silence. Later, the whole crew is chilling in some very serious-looking beanbag chairs for a debrief, but Chang Ting is already thinking ahead, a new plan clearly forming. Chi Jiyun offers him all 6 stones, but with a tiny catch: 2 freebie missions for the company. Our boy immediately agrees, sealing the deal with a high five, zero hesitation. He then starts handing out stones to Q's rescued team, saying they are a perfect fit, and one of them gratefully accepts as he tells everyone to absorb their new toys ASAP. This leaves Chang Ting with 2 physical enhancement stones for himself, and he is absolutely pumped about the massive strength boost he is about to get. As the other fighters start absorbing their own stones, they begin to glow with new power. While Chang Ting smirks, knowing strength types give him the biggest upgrade of all, so he just pops both of them in his mouth like candy, ready for whatever comes next. A massive demonic red aura immediately explodes from his body, which seems to be a bit more intense than he was expecting, judging by the confused look on his face. This power surges violently, tearing at him as he screams in absolute agony. Suddenly, one of his teammates' eyes flash open, now glowing a brilliant gold. and she floats into the air, her own power-up complete as the energy around her dissipates. His teammate points out the obvious, Chang Ting's getting a huge power-up. This energy finally settles and our boy takes a sharp breath, feeling the change. His blonde friend immediately asks how he is feeling, looking a little worried. But Chang Ting just clenches his fist, boasting he could one-shot that last boss now. And the stat screen confirms it, a tenfold boost to strength and durability plus doubled reflexes. His teammate then wonders why they only got stones and no cool weapon drops. Lounging like a king, Chang Ting explains that stones are guaranteed but gear is pure luck. As his friend whines about his weapon, Chang Ting drops a bombshell. The beginner protection period is over, which leaves the whole squad just staring, having absolutely no idea what that means. Of course, our boy just gives them a cryptic smile, saying they will find out soon enough. Elsewhere, another group of fighters looks out at a peaceful, sunny day, but Chang Ting's eyes flare up. He knows something is coming. Right on cue, a massive vortex of energy rips open the sky above the city, and a floating cosmic horror greets the players of Earth like a twisted game show host. It announces that after 6 successful invasions, the tutorial is officially over. Meanwhile, Chi Jiun and his partner watch from afar, one of them grumbling about being treated like a toy. But the master strategist just smirks, curious to see what happens now that the training wheels are off. In yet another location, Jai from the Vulture Squad gets the same news by the pool. Her associate celebrates, ready for the collapse and reconstruction of order, definitely not a good guy. And the monster lays out the new rules. Earth's energy is sealed and killing other players can now drop loot. With a final taunting have fun, the cosmic horrors broadcast finally ends, and the blonde teammate is understandably losing his mind over the new rules. His squad tries to process the info dump, no power, more monsters, and something called an abyss key. Chang Ting calmly clarifies Rule 1, all of Earth's energy sources are just gone. His friend freaks out about going back to the Stone Age, but our boy says a new power source is on the way. He explains that monsters will now drop energy crystals that can replace everything, a total system reboot. Mewtwo points out this feels less like an invasion and more like the planets being forcibly evolved, and a close-up on Chang Ting reveals he is definitely considering that possibility. This red-haired woman asks about the Abyss Key, but he is more focused on telling her to drop the little brother nickname. He then explains the key is their ticket into special high-stakes dungeons, which are basically a slice of the abyss brought right to their doorstep. Fun. Chang Ting lays out the 3 tiers of keys, with extraordinary being the one they obviously want. His blonde friend immediately questions if they are even strong enough for that kind of challenge. But with a classic hero smirk, Chang Ting says they will find out by trying, zero hesitation. Mewtwo then asks the important question, where do these things even appear? He reveals that while most are random, his secret novel knowledge says their city gets the first top-tier trial. So he puts Mewtwo on key-finding duty and she is ready to go. Right on cue, the power cuts out and a little girl runs through the darkened hall in a panic. Chang Ting gently reassures her the lights will not be out for long. Elsewhere, Chi Jiun and his partner watch the world go dark, telling his people to get ready for the chaos. Chi Jiun issues orders to find abyss keys and keep the peace, already 5 steps ahead, while some eye-patch-wearing psycho is just thrilled about the chance to cause chaos, and another player just sips her tea, completely unbothered by the apocalypse. Cut to the city where a giant spectral monster looms over the absolute pandemonium. Civilians are screaming and running for their lives as the world falls apart, and one woman gets tripped up as a demonic red wolf dives right for her. She screams for help, pretty sure this is the end of the line, but a blast of light slams into the monster's face just in the nick of time, sending the beast flying backwards from the force of the shot. Standing over them is a mysterious gunslinger with a very fancy-looking pistol, who cuts a pretty heroic figure towering over the woman he just rescued. This guy flashes a charming smile, telling her not to worry, she is safe now. She immediately runs away screaming at him, so much for gratitude, lady. Turns out our hero is Chang Ting's blonde friend who is bummed they still have not found a key. Chang Ting just calls him a pessimist as his buddy whines about their terrible luck. Right then, our boy gets a call that is about to change their whole day, and he is all smiles, announcing he has got some great news for the team. Mewtwo's squad already found a key and his friend is instantly hyped to go. With a determined glare, Chang Ting declares it is time to hit the trial ground, and their epic high-stakes destination is a high school running track apparently. His teammate questions the trial ground's location, a high school really. And yup, there is the key just sitting in the middle of the soccer field. This pink-haired woman holds it up, asking Chang Ting for the go-ahead, and with his nod she places the key down to kick things off. A massive pillar of demonic energy immediately rips through the sky, so much for keeping a low profile. This summons a giant, terrifying gate right in front of the whole squad, but Chang Ting just calmly reaches out, ready to activate the highest difficulty. This system confirms it, they have officially picked extraordinary mode because of course they did. With a groan, the gate creaks open, revealing the path to their potential doom, and it is just swirling with pure, unadulterated bad idea energy. One of the new guys immediately starts having second thoughts, asking if they are in over their heads, but Chang Ting hits them with the classic hero speech, just believe in your strength. They are instantly teleported into a massive, fiery arena. And the blonde friend is just amazed they are in a freaking coliseum. Suddenly, a vortex of power swirls in the center, summoning their first opponent. A shadowy beast materializes, clutching a glowing red power source in its fist. It is a massive armored minotaur and it does not look happy to be here. Chang Ting's eyes flare with lightning as he orders everyone into combat mode, powering up with his own crackling aura ready to face the beast head-on. This minotaur just glares back, ready to turn them all into a red paste. One of the new guys blocks the minotaur's first swing with a glowing axe, but the attack just shatters into pieces against his solid defense. This minotaur just looms over them, ready for another go, but Chang Ting holds everyone back, saying he will test this thing out himself. Crackling with lightning, he rockets forward to meet the beast head-on and lands a solid punch right in the minotaur's ugly mug. His immediate assessment, this thing's not particularly strong, which seems to be news to the minotaur currently getting its face caved in. Chang Ting concludes its physical stats are also pretty pathetic, a real confidence booster for the boss. Pissed off, the monster swings its axe with glowing red eyes, but our boy just gracefully leaps right over the attack, no sweat at all. He then starts charging up some kind of new technique in his hands, preparing to unleash a flurry of strikes on the poor beast. This attack connects, a rapid-fire beatdown that completely staggers the minotaur, bringing the giant monster down to its knees in defeat. Suddenly, the minotaur roars and explodes with a dark purple aura. It is phase 2, baby. Chang Ting is completely unfazed, revealing he knew it would transform after taking enough damage. With glowing red eyes, the powered-up beast swings its axe with way more force. But Chang Ting just casually blocks the massive weapon with one hand. He notes its strength doubled, but it is still no threat, and its speed is just as unimpressive. He notes its speed is now garbage, basically making it a walking XP farm. Seeing how weak it is, Chang Ting decides this is the perfect time for some team practice, and his squad is more than ready to get their hands dirty. This whole team immediately unloads a massive coordinated attack, which completely flattens the minotaur, leaving them standing over the smoking remains. Naturally, the blonde friend gets cocky, claiming he could have handled that himself. This pink-haired woman immediately calls him out, reminding him he got sent flying earlier. He tries to play it off, saying he was just testing his close combat skills, a likely story. Meanwhile, one of the newer guys worries his powers do not work on these monsters. But Chang Ting quickly shuts that down, telling him his abilities are a crucial game changer. He explains that these early monsters are just mindless beasts, but later ones will be as smart as humans, and against those intelligent foes, his friend's unique powers will be absolutely essential. With his confidence restored, the guy is ready for whatever's next. Chang Ting then steps forward to put the poor minotaur out of its misery. A single slash and the monster disintegrates into a shower of digital blocks. Right after, a giant system screen materializes in the arena, surprising everyone. It congratulates them for the win and asks if they want to make their squad name public. Chang Ting's answer is a hard no, they are staying off the grid. This board updates, listing them as squad number 1 with a hidden name and a 20-minute clear time. His blonde buddy is confused, asking why their ranking is not included if they are in first place. Chang Ting explains the deal, faster clears mean better loot on the leaderboards, and his blonde buddy is still catching up on the whole rewards concept. Our boy clarifies their first kill bonus is a special prize, totally separate from the monthly rankings. Finally getting it, his friend is just hyped for their personal payout. Right on cue, a massive loot chest slams down from the sky. And the team immediately starts shouting out their wish list, guns and armor. This red-haired woman chimes in with poison, because of course she does. With a brilliant flash, the chest pops open to reveal their prize, and inside is a shiny new golden submachine gun. This blonde friend is losing his mind over it, especially when he sees it has unlimited ammo. This thing also gets stronger with rage and scales with his own stats, a perfect fit. He is absolutely giddy, admiring his awesome new weapon. Now he is demanding they call him the Dual Gun Ranger. Chang Ting just plays along with the dork. Seeing his new toy, the women on the team ask where they can get their own gear. Chang Ting assures them that with his knowledge, finding more arenas will be easy. Fired up, the pink-haired woman declares it is time to go hunt for more first-kill loot. But a system alert suddenly pops up, warning of an imbalance factor as the arena level climbs. His friend asks what is happening, but Chang Ting plays dumb, looking a little worried himself. Internally, our boy starts sweating, wondering if he is the reason the difficulty is spiking. This system confirms his fears, the arena level doubles and a new trial is about to begin. Our boy is stunned, the arena just jumped 2 whole levels instantly. A violent vortex of dark energy erupts in the middle of the arena, and with a tense shout, he warns everyone that the next boss is here. From the cracked ground, a massive fiery claw begins to emerge, revealing 2 demonic heads with glowing red eyes, and it is a freaking 3-headed hellhound roaring right in their faces. His pink-haired teammate immediately recognizes the legendary hellhound, which immediately charges forward, wreathed in flames. But she throws up a massive wall of ice to block the attack. With gritted teeth, she holds the line against the fiery onslaught, her ice wall straining against the intense heat. But the sheer force of the blast shatters her defense, sending everyone flying. All 3 heads of the beast snarl, ready to tear them apart. As the team regroups, Chang Ting announces the real battle starts now. He calls out their target, the hellhound Cerberus. Cut to deep space where 3 bizarre cosmic beings are observing everything. And this spiky, Cheshire Cat-looking one seems pretty amused by the show. His feral-looking buddy, however, is already bored with these boring little bugs. This blue flame entity immediately accuses the pharaoh, "Was this your doing?" But the pharaoh just plays dumb, having no idea what he is talking about. This blue flame entity admits he got bored and spiced things up for his own amusement. And the spiky purple one immediately asks if he has lost his damn mind. He then threatens to kill the blue flame guy for interfering with his paradise, but the troublemaker just grins, daring him to even try. Their pharaoh-looking buddy has to break them up, complaining about the hassle of resetting timelines. He then decides to make things even crazier by joining the game himself. This other two just look on, wondering what he is planning now. This pharaoh explains he is raising the stakes by adding a new variable to the bugs, because apparently being cosmic gods for ages gets a little lonely. So he proposes a contest. They each pick a champion, and if they pass a trial, they ascend. This winner of this little wager gets absolute authority for the next 10 eons, no big deal. He asks the other two if they are in on this absolutely insane bet. This blue flame entity doubts a bug could ever reach their level. But he accepts the proposal anyway, choosing his player on the planet below. After a tense silence, the spiky purple one is also on board. With the cosmic bet made, they all agree to watch and see how far the mortals can go. Back in the arena, Cerberus roars, ready to continue the fight. But a massive pillar of purple energy suddenly materializes from above. It swirls violently, descending right on top of the battlefield, and Chang Ting's entire squad can only stare up in total shock. That purple pillar is replaced by a sickly green aura as Cerberus starts to evolve, its head's morphing into something way more demonic and seriously pissed off. And there it is, a fully armored, three-headed nightmare roars, ready for round 2. Even Chang Ting is floored, realizing this thing is somehow still powering up. Right before a system alert drops the bomb, the rules of the game have been altered mid-fight. Cut to our spiky purple god, who is just thrilled about the new high-difficulty, high-reward system he has cooked up, which is now being force downloaded into every human's brain, no opt-out available.